Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. Put this link in the chat. Copy link. Invite. Email. And give me 1 minute, everybody. Setting up. 1 minute. Gmail. Inbox. Copy link. Come back in here. Shout out my brother T. Trillions. I see you out there. Grand Rising. Much respect to you and the family. C. Roberts. Grand Rising. Much respect. Maurice Miller. Grand Rising. Much respect, my brother. We're going to start this off like we always do with some music. Give me 1 second. Share screen. Bam. 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 Shout out.
Class in session, so it's time for you to get the notes. The quickest way to sell your soul is when you niggas vote. This shit I'm kicking is forbidden, better listen, bro. A politician preaching love is the biggest joke. See what they do is use the shit as a tool. Got us focused on these fools and putting shit in our food. Fighting to free your mind is kinda hollow but true. The system make you a zombie if you follow the rules, so we rebel. But not too many live it to tell, till they find the cheat code using digital scales. Paradise is aborted when the mission is failed. Heaven and hell collide like prison and jail. And you don't need religion just to say you awake. You even dumber than you look, you think you came from an ape. Religion needs science, science need religion. One tell a story and the other paint the picture. But listen, nigga, if you dig a little deeper, you can find that little rabbit in the mother of the reaper. I'm the best for a reason. There's a message in the speaker. When the cosmos talking, that's a blessing from the ether. One day I met the devil for real and made a deal with him. Told him all I want is the money and kept it real with him. Came in the form of a thought, I couldn't build with him. Shit I was selling the fiends was really killing them. Your gun bars ain't much if your gat don't shoot. I'm strapped and bulletproof like the Batman suit. All it take is one snap to have my enemies killed. The laws in space and time, I could bend them at will. Yeah, I'm in the world that some of y'all have not seen, and living on the page that some of y'all cannot read. And right now they probably calling me cheap, cause I decided it's enough and now I finally speak. Tell you the truth, I don't trust people who cheat. It's deeper than having sex, you give birth to deceit. If you see where this is going, this is true as can be. If you lie to the ones you love, then you do it to me. The cold word is rainy night. Niggas get wet outside, but ain't no rain in sight. They wonder where this come from. Ascension when it's all done. No reason to believe in a God. When you become one, you understand. You could get it the same. Niggas will double cross you if you get them the fame. My soul ain't for sale just to get in the game. It's dangerous, homie, just remember the name.
Got you. Come on over here. Stop the screen share. What's good, my brother? Let me get a mic check from you.
Oh, mic check 1 2 1 2.
Loud and clear, my brother. Much respect to you and the family always. I'm about to turn the host over to you, my brother. And let you do your thing. We've been doing a continuous series, me and this brother Lotus. Got much respect for him. I love the information he'd be putting out. With that, I give y'all Lotus. Go ahead, brother. Much respect.
Most definitely. Feelings are definitely mutual. Appreciate coming here every Wednesday, enjoying presenting information that is need to be known, especially that can be utilized by somebody applied to their life and use it in some way to prosper or be prosperous, or take a position of winning instead of losing. in the future and for future generations to come. And I humbly say honorable admiration on my good brothers and sisters of the feather. And I definitely will be starting it off about my preamble that I put together a while ago and what I have to bring to the table, which is frequency plus sound equals color. Undisputed. Mind manufacture, mass produce everything we want, need, and use, which is really which comes before that is maintenance, repair, overall maintenance, repair operations. That's 2 MRO, 3 MP. Ass motherfucker. After that is geodynamics, biodynamics, GD, BD4, and F5, which will be friction, fission, fusion, flora, and fauna. And that is what I bring to the table, which is the ecological reversion paradigm, meaning reverting back to our ecological purpose to the planet where we work in unison with everything around us, means that we would have to let go of all that so-called science that is basically another form of Jesus, Scientology, and scientists, which was coined by a weirdo Christian Slovak Wilhelm. So we need to veer our way from these things and focus on engineering and the technology. It's time for us to really move and take these steps forward. So I would definitely enjoy today showing that there has been a parasite amongst our people, that there's a great deal of things and information that will definitely take more than just a couple hours to break down. So I will compress this as much as possible and present it in a way that everyone can understand, especially those. I was going to start insulting, you know what I'm saying? I was going to start bringing the insults and doing it, but I want to do it in a more professional manner. I want to do it in a respectful manner, that there are groups of people who have a agenda, and the agenda is to control the mind of the people. They want you believing in some sky daddy. It don't matter what name the sky daddy is. It's all pie in the sky daddy. It does not matter at all. It does not matter at all. Did you keep the food stay down? Did the food stay down? All right. That's what I'm talking about. Give me a second, y'all. For starters, I want to share this this image behind me before we get into the topic today, which is about Abdul, Hamid, Suleiman, the real founder of the Canaanite temple, the real founder of the Moorish science temple, the one who was in cahoots, who cohorted, who was working with the AIU, who was working with the Orientalists, none other than, again, Abdul Hamid Suleiman. I noticed that in this group of people who I am talking about, they will not mention this person, because when you mention this person and you give the real foundation of what their agenda and what their group is, everything starts to crumble when people who are trying to say that, oh, the people who are here, the ones who are called Aborigine, didn't build anything, didn't do anything. And it wasn't until this group came along. And with that, I have to now say the group. The group is called the Moors. And that this group of people who are called the Moors, they enforce everything. They force a system of indoctrination upon it down everybody's throat. That's why you have a Islam, cultural thing going on with them. They're the ones who went along with the perversion of these words from its original form to a pidgin form, and in fact, the lowest form of the pidgin form, meaning they agreed with the Slovak, they agreed with the AIU, they agreed with the Kagan, the Kaganate, the Oku Turk, the real Janissaries, the real Mamelukes, those weirdos who we see controlling Hollywood, controlling our music today, controlling our food, and they were working in cohorts. Them, Marcus Garvey was working with it. W.B. Du Bois was working with it. And this is the proof and the evidence that people who are following this so-called group, the Moorish Science Temple, that they are pushing what is called the burlesque degree. They are pushing what is called the vaudeville. They are pushing what I have been trying to express to everyone. It's number one on the list, the ancient Arabic order, the nobles of the mystic shrine, which is why you have an area in Florida today that is called the Morocco Temple. They have perverted too many different things from Berbers over there, not from here, from Berbers over there, and Beja who are from here and traveled over there. And many of the Beja who traveled over there were traveling back and forth. Now, some say from 1830 or 1820 till now. Some are talking about the years of 1875 till now. I found the information of 1890 going back and forth, writing to Westminster, writing Baron de Hirsch's colony, the Jewish Association, colonialization, ships riding over here, bringing their perverted ideology, bringing their kid diddler. I can't say the word, PD file. I'll say it like that. The ones that were into kid diddling, you know what I'm saying? Grown man fondling 12, 13, 14-year-old girls. And we see the evidence. We see it with the group that's called the Nation of Islam, that the person who was one of the key people in starting the Nation of Islam carried on that weird ritual of robbing the innocents. They only tell you about the teenagers they were doing it with, but they're not telling you that they were perverted and performing weirdos, Enochian sex magic rituals of robbing the innocence of the child at the age of 7. Again, like I said, there's so much more that stretches out across a vast amount of information. I'm gonna compress it as much as possible. I wanted to make sure with the introduction that everyone can see, you know, and there's no way around it. Once I start pulling up this information and start sharing this, there is nothing that can be said, but this shows that we cannot trust anybody who is bringing us a Moorish paradigm, anybody talking about anything with Moors, anything with language, anything with culture, anything with tradition. We have to put a fork in it, because after today, the shit is done. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure that introduction. And again, in my background, you see, located in Sedona, Arizona. In Sedona, Arizona. Let me get my head out the way. In Sedona, Arizona is where they took the Sphinx head. They chopped it up in Sedona, Arizona, and took the head to Egypt. Who are the people who were working with them doing this? We call them the Moors. Who are the people who were working with them, coming in and putting our people here in a position of compromise and pushing us out of our agrarian culture and pushing us into a fiat, a tender, a U.S. tender, a promissory note, pushing us into the Federal Reserve, into the hands of the Federal Reserve. Man, this y'all in for some very, very interesting information. Again, you can name the biggest Moors out right now, and I never hear them talk about this person, also known as Solomon, Abdul, Hamid, Suleiman. In fact, the only person I ever heard even utter this name was Imam Bashir, who was a part of the House of Consciousness. Now, before I really go dig up in this, might need to take a little break, so I need to go up in the house real quick. Big Dog Philly OG, if you're still there. Okay, Big Dog Philly OG must have stepped out. Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second.
I'm here, my brother.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm here.
Starting out turned up. But
Yeah, let me shout out the
this shit
chat while you doing that. Go ahead, take your time, my brother. Shout out to P Trillion, C. Roberts, Maurice Miller, my brother JJ the Enlightened One, Joe Moore, Key Norfolk, Hennigo H, Mariah, welcome to the channel. Mr. C, Seven Live, Love Life. Much respect, my brother. Key Norfolk, Adute, Double R. Let's see who else in here. Dark Star, Monique Hill, D. Allen Warren, Tony Furlow, Hood Therapy. Much love and respect to all of y'all. Grand Rising, man. Much love and respect to the people, man. Give me 1 second. Like we always do, we're going to open the platform up after the brother gives his presentation. Anybody welcome to join. I appreciate all of y'all's support. Much respect to everybody. Matter of fact,
you can throw in a couple of jams, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna take the host back from you for a minute so I can share a couple of songs, let some people get in the house and let you handle your business.
Perfect.
Give me a second, everybody. Reclaim host. Grand Rising, much respect to everybody. Find us a nice song. Hood Politics Part 2. Shout out to the sponsors, Dangerous Music.
They just wanna keep us asleep. I know this shit suck, but when the fuck when niggas wake up, I know this shit tough. Every other step you take, you get your foot stuck. Cause they go and show you to fly with some niggas pushed up. Religion is a part of the system, my nigga, listen. If you ain't got control of your soul, then you's a victim. The Pope all over the net with politicians. The same politicians who sleeping with little children. Time to make them pay for what they did to the youth. But freedom of speech is nothing when they censoring truth. You ain't gotta show shit when you live in the proof. Giving support to your oppressors, man, you niggas is goofs. Time to fight fire with fire, get on some nigga shit. Time to get back what they stole, all of our innocence. Some people hate the way that I talk, this shit be spicy. But say a bunch of shit that ain't true, it isn't likely. They try to say your vision ain't true, but with your sight see. The best way to tear you apart is through your psyche. I give it to you real, what you need me to say. Ask the world leaders about the oath they secretly take. It's a plan that they got to keep us legally slaves. Paid labor overwhelming when you needed a break. If you think that I'm just talking, then bitch you lost. It's a war going on like rich versus poor. The rich keep getting rich while your broke ass starve. Feeding you little pennies at that punk ass job. Thinking cause you get it in tax, you need that income. Really, I'm just stating the facts, cause niggas been dumb. Your emotions are controlled by a system. Cause when I make a song full of hate, niggas listen. When I make a song about love, niggas skip it. They both from the soul, so really ain't nothing different. Today you gotta give it a fight to make the hate stop. Niggas on that ignorant shit gon' get a face shot. Believe what you wanna believe. A lot of niggas snakes, only going off of belief. A lot of shit is fake with 2 cans blazing, I'm ready for damnation. So tell a slave master I'm burning the plantation. You fuck niggas like to throw pain but can't take it. So all during war these flames remain sacred. Barrel to the root of your tongue, you niggas tasteless. Lights flying over your head, it ain't a spaceship. The reason why we fully equipped was information. It led us on the path that got us out of the matrix. Unity is power beyond, we should embrace it. But you could never bathe in the truth when you were racist. Speeding off what you was taught, then the brakes slip. Then you see it's nothing you thought, that shit is dangerous. A lot of people died for what? That shit was aimless. It's kinda like a video game, it took stages. Just make sure these lanes remain nameless. Hood Politics Part 2, my name dangerous.
play me in chess. I'm a checkmate, y'all. Double R, checkmate.
Double up, DVD.
Light skin keep sweating.
Though you're not ready for the day, it can't stay night forever. That's a fact.
Shout out to Arcana. Let's see.
So tell me how you really feel. Yeah, I promise you I ain't gon' trip. But where was you when I was fucked up in the hospital bed? Both eyes swole, couldn't feel my lips. Face fat like I quit drinking. Eyes bloodshot from the blood in it, like the chlorine in the water when you trying to see swimming in Lincoln. Facing facts like I quit thinking. Fuck it. I tell you how I really feel. See, our lives ain't parallel. When me and D was cooking up, y'all was in school rapping like y'all niggas like us who made the barrel yell. See, this blasphemy a carousel. I do it for the love, I'm getting money. This rap shit ain't nothing, I don't care to sell. Cold-blooded, warm heart, wish your loved ones well. The moment I prepared to win, you was prepared to fail. I promise you I ain't gon' trip.
Man, what's good, brother?
I promise you I ain't gon' trip.
Appreciate you.
Nah, I promise you I ain't gon' trip. Even though I got all reason to fucking flip. I promise you I ain't gon' trip. I promise you I ain't gon' trip. Nah, I promise you I ain't gon' trip. Even though I got all reason to fucking flip. Yeah, let me tell you how I really feel. You would've got popped by Illy Bills. My peoples came from DC, my cousin came from Ohio. Would've laid you out in public just to show you clowns it's really real. It gets better, my second love found out a past from a voicemail you left her, playing Jodeci. Walked the other way when you noticed me and you know it's me. I felt like Monte Cristo, this shit was poetry. I came back, you said I got wiser, that was the glow in me. Showed you how to move, there was an advantage in knowing me. Jealousy is the hand that grab and snap the rosary. Expectations aren't met when you're not who you supposed to be. The reason I ain't alter your life, cause you was close to me. My family was your family, only a few would understand me. A wise one said, let go and let karma deal. So I let go and let karma deal. Checkmate. I promise you I ain't gon' trip. I promise you I ain't gon' trip. Nah, I promise you I ain't gon' trip. Even though I got all reason to fucking flip. I promise you I ain't gon' trip. I promise you I ain't gon' trip. Nah, I promise you I ain't gon' trip. Even though I got all reason to fucking flip.
Flat power God. Shard TSL, flat motherfucking power. Dangerous music, Prophet Levi. Brother Sanchez, executive session. Shout out to Sponsor. Give me a second, everybody. Stop the screen share. I'm gonna go in my library real quick. See if I can pull out some music from the library that people sent me. Give me a second. Gmail. Inbox. Give me a second, everybody. Here we go. Some beats that you sent me.
Oh, that's what's up.
This
Oh
beat
man, I
about
did see.
I'm gonna play a couple songs to my brother Matthew Lotus get himself together. Shout out Red Squid. I see you, my brother. Much respect.
Oh yeah.
This is the brother Juice right here. Great night. Appreciate you.
I am.
Hey, Dre Light, I know that, my brother. I just had to do that for some young nigga, because the young nigga thought he was young at 40. So I had to do that, brother. Much respect. I know that. I appreciate being 57 years old, man. Appreciate y'all.
That's right.
I must have got knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah, still more time on the track, but I'm ready once the track is done.
Mic check, mic check.
What it do?
Can you hear me?
Flat power every hour. Yup, I hear you.
Okay, because the song stopped. It say my internet.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Yeah, it just stopped out of nowhere.
Hold on, let me go back. See if it'll play again. I thought I got knocked out.
I am.
Here we go.
There it is.
Shout out to Juice.
I am.
Volume up a little bit. Shout out to the sponsor, Brian Flat Power Guy, my knock. House of Nathan's, appreciate you. Make sure y'all throw your channel links out and everybody sub up to everybody, please. That's how we all grow. Throw y'all channel links out. We're gonna play my brother Zolan.
I am.
Make sure everybody throw their channel link out. Welcome to throw your channel link out anytime when I'm live. Anytime.
I am.
Beats by Juice.
I am.
I got you, my brother. El Solo, what's good? I got you. If I don't do it now, I do it at the end. That was beats by my brother Juice. Let me stop the screen snap. Matter of fact, keep it here. Find my brother Zolan track. Damn. Shout out to Zolan. Hold on, go back. Trying to find it. Oh, here we go. This my brother Zolan right here. Shout out to Zolan. My internet acting crazy. This my brother Zolan right here. Shout out to Zolan.
It's a different world. Be aware and prepared. Don't be scared. Yeah. I swear to God, I won't budge.
My brother Zolan.
I stand on my own too. Feet never coming off the ground unless I'm flying to your town, cause you gotta wager down. Yeah, I got some bills to pay and I need that paper now. It's like Floyd getting paid just to spar with Pacquiao. Y'all make this shit boring, kinda hard to listen. Y'all lack organization, y'all lack composition. I lack competition, flow perfected from the practice. So when the game come, young probably won't pass it. Got me feeling like Kobe right before the fifth ring. Business before pleasure and winning over everything. I got a son to feed and your boy never had shit. So we gon' eat and my boy gon' have shit. Never take a day off, even in a layoff. I hustle hard like it's game 7 in the playoff. Kill it like Adolf, well done with the steak sauce. Seatbelt on, my plane about to take off. Twin jet engine sitting with 2 jet beauties. Pay them no attention cause my wife gon' blues me. Beats by Dre, I might watch me a movie. The pilot got this bitch going up on a Tuesday. My feet never coming off the ground unless I'm flying to your town, cause you gotta wager down. Yeah, I got some bills to pay and I need that paper now. It's like Floyd getting paid just to spar with Pacquiao. I'm putting on the clinic, take a free lesson. Knowledge is power, use your mind as a weapon. A whole lot of sheep and I'm feeling like a shepherd, a spiritual professor. Take notes on this lecture, but time passed, no progression. You can't teach effort, just lead by example. Kids growing faster, slow your roll, cut the camera. Foolishness spreading on the web like cancer. Drug dealer make it rain, made her wanna be a dancer. Driven by greed, believing money is the answer. Players pushing packs, birds couldn't fly faster. Save and invest, but you blow it right after. Back to square one, caught up in a cycle. Losing cause you choosing to worship a false idol. I'm reading through the book of Revelations in the Bible, waiting on the king to come back and claim his title. The devil is a lie and the Lord is my witness. I'm just trying to set the record straight like Guinness. To the man upstairs, I'm praying for forgiveness. Society is twisted, hope that justifies my living. I had to go and get it, cause they were never given. Thanks to good luck, your boy never seen a prison. Talk is cheap, I'm rolling sweets, plotting on the system. In this white man's world, I'm the suspect and the victim. Feet never coming off the ground unless I'm flying to your town, cause you gotta wager down. Yeah, I got some bills to pay and I need that paper now. It's like Floyd getting paid just to spar with Pacquiao. Young.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, Zolan, you got it, Zolan.
Got you. Stop that. Bam. Stop the screen share.
This out. Ashley's new lower
Hold
prices
on.
are here.
What the hell playing that?
Hundreds of items. And get ready. The Orange event at Ashley is coming soon for 3 days only, March 10th through the 12th. Shop in store or online for the biggest event of the year.
That damn commercial. Right? Let me close some of this shit out. What's playing? Okay, all right, here we go. Whenever you're ready, brother. Give you back the host.
Oh yeah.
Give me a second.
Let me blend up my papaya.
I hear that.
Papaya with papaya seeds, man. I scoop out the papaya seeds, I slide it in them. I'll eat papaya seeds every single day. Yeah, if I can get my hand on papaya. Oh
Black
yeah, man, it's
Sabbath,
amazing
I
what
see
it
you
does,
out
man.
there. Appreciate you, Riz. Appreciate you, Red Squid, House of Nathan's. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Now, I have covered this on a scale that is minuscule to the focus today. That in this book, let me see, my camera at. This book right here, Element Encyclopedia of Secret Societies. It's a weirdo paleface telling on his people, but big upping his people to make it seem like they were of authority, that they had stuff going on, they had control, when they really didn't get any control until they had the help of a group of people who we call the Moors, by the way. And on this, come on, man. I'm gonna have to drop that background. The background is, yeah, let me drop that background. It's messing me up.
Shout out Cato Morris. I see you. Dre Light. All good. Much respect. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So it's a little dark, but you can still see the letters. Perfect. The burlesque degree. If you go online and look up the burlesque degree, if you you know what I'm saying, we got real Aborigines, we got real Aboriginals, and then we got these Google originals. So this is not from Google, okay? And if you Google burlesque degree, it's going to show you something that is misleading. It's going to take you in the wrong direction. So on page 106, burlesque degree, I'm going to show it, then I'm going to read it to you. Because people are unhappy, they are upset, they big mad, they hurt, butt hurt, mangina sore, because the truth is coming out. The veil has been lifted. This is the age we're in today. Technology and everything is moving too fast for liars and scammers or whatever to do what they've been doing. So, on page 106, the last paragraph, it says, and again, I read this on Supreme Chief Holiday's channel last year, went over this so I will just go over a portion of it. Many burlesque degrees remain informal entertainments put on by individual lodges, but some took on a life of their own and turned into societies in their own right. So when you see people calling themselves society at the end, this is how you know they are part of the burlesque degree, which is why I changed from Black Lotus Society to Black Lotus Civilization. Because when I dug further into what society or putting society behind your name is connected to, that it was some real weirdo shit, I'm not going to continue to associate it with, which means that I have to really check our good brothers who got that, they got that cap on it, they got that thimble on their head, and have not moved away from the fraudulent source or the fraudulent origin of of their group, and that will be the Canaanite society. They have Canaanite society at the end. So, what does it say after that? Okay. Freemasonry, always quick to establish new orders, took the lead in the department with at least 3 major burlesque branches. The ancient Arabic order of nobles of the mystic Shriners. Okay? That's all I really need to read right there. And it goes on further to say, I'm only going to focus on the ancient Arabic order. It goes on further to say, where is that at? Where my 96 degree part at? All right, so it goes on further to say that there is 96 degrees.
Much love and respect, humbling soul. Let's see you out there. Much love and respect. Appreciate you tapping in.
So when we have origin of a group that will backdate everything, they will make us believe that Arabic, the Quran, these symbols and these languages, when you take a symbol and you take it across the board and say, oh, this group is this group and this group and this group is using the symbol, and they're all using it the same way, that means that the origin is the same. So when you have a backdated thing that's created by pale faces, created by Slovaks, because they want to cover up who really brought the Arabic language to America, who really brought the Quran to America, and it would be Abdul, Hamid, Suleiman. All right, let me pull it up. Let me get this.
Shout out Anthony Lowe and Crypto Cakes Cartel and Sister Humblin'. And also shout out Today You Can Dig It 111. Much love and respect to you and the family. And Mike Will 729, the realest McCoy. Much respect, brother. Much love and respect. Go ahead, brother.
That's right. So there's been a major perversion in a language that is called Arabic. And that's why I'm talking about the ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine. This is a piece of the 96th degree. These are the group of people who were going along with the Orientalists. That is the Orientalists, as in the founder being Rockefeller and those that were working with the Rockefellers. The vaudeville, which is connected to the French, which the AIU was created in France. As expressed, I believe that was 2 months ago when I showed the AIU. And we had, I forgot what his name, come in and try to be a shill about it. He didn't like it. I don't know, maybe he attached himself to some of the information that was exposed and he didn't like what he heard or whatever. But this is showing step by step. I'm helping those who don't understand why these dots are connected. And for those who can't figure out that, how is it that we have these groups? I mean, to be real, we have all these groups in America that came in as we were losing control and losing power. We were losing all our farms. We had societies being destroyed. Let me rephrase that. We had our civilizations being destroyed by people that came in and tried to say that they the 5 civilized tribes. But we had Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had Rosewood. We had shit all the way in California. People don't want to talk about it, but that's cool. Nobody wants to talk about the Great Basin. That just makes it easier for me. So we have these groups coming in, W.E.B. Du Bois documenting the information from 1870 to 1900, reporting back to people like Otto von Bismarck and people that are associates of Otto von Bismarck. We have Marcus Garvey working with the Red Cross, working with the Swiss. They're all really the same people in the same origin. So basically they're taking words and they're perverting these words. We got salam thinking it means peace, it really means safety. Salam, salama'ab. We have as-salam, as-salama, that was changed to Islam because the people who, you know what I'm saying, we call the Ishis, the Kagan, the Ukok, the Okguk Turk, the Ashkenaz, Khazarian people who cannot pronounce words right. And when they can't pronounce words right, and they're forcing whatever the agenda that they have, and they're trying to get people to support their agenda, they want to make sure that they have the propaganda machine set and ready to change the names and say things the way they want it to say. That's why in the Family Heritage books, the Family Heritage Society, see the name Society again, the Genealogical Society, you find a story in the origins of names, Miguel de Unamuno. And when you look at Miguel de Unamuno, he's working with those missionaries. And I know we have some trying to say that, they trying to say Jesuits and it's a conspiracy. How the hell can we say the Jesuit shit is a conspiracy when we saw what Fauci did to us? The Jesuits are still causing harm to us today. Bill Gates was knighted as a Templar. Bill Gates is still doing things that cause harm to us today, right now. So the evidence and the facts that we have these groups,
brother, big facts.
That we have these groups that came into power when we're losing power. And why is this stuff kept out? So without further ado, I'm gonna cut out my subjective remarks. I'm gonna be objective as possible. And there's gonna be a couple of things that's gonna blow a couple of minds. Some might know about this. If they do know about it and they've been amongst Moors, I would call them dilly-dallying, because we have people who like to come approach me that because I'm not down with their cult like weirdo whatever they got going on, that they got to make sure that they blacklist and blackball me. So for that, I'm going to make sure that everyone understands that these groups of people are part of the problem. Again, they talk about law, they talk about judgment, they know all the legal system of the words. Not one of them. Why is the court controlled by the issues? Huh? Why do we not have any judges or lawyers who are going into the courtroom with fezzes? That whole system should be ran and controlled by them. But this is what we're dealing with. And from the source, from the beginning, from the origin, you see it right here, Abdul, Hamid, Suleiman, and the origins of the Moorish Science Temple. It does not say Noble Drew Ali. We got a newspaper clippings, because people like newspaper clippings, and they like to be Google originals. They like to be go Google people. We got Dr. Abdul Hamid of Egypt, not Egypt in America. We're talking about Egypt over there. Guest of Harlem Masons. So, and there's some typos here. There's some typos there and some things that need to be explained. Okay, so my bloodline ancestors, my direct bloodline from my male side, my actual last name is on the first 3 lines. My ancestors were building buildings. We were building buildings with brick, not no damn Tatarians, not no damn Moors coming over here building all the stuff while we sat around naked and not doing nothing, as they try and promote that that's what they were doing. As I had a debate with Candyland Moors, well, somewhat of a discussion with Cujo from the Candyland Moors when they were promoting that lie, when really they came over here to what we already had established with an agenda working against us. So there was a notable gathering of prominent Masons in the upper room at Craig's well-known hostery. Okay? That's why I know that's why I know a lot of the stuff that I know. Not from no goddamn Google. It's from passed down information. I didn't know some of these things 6-7 years ago. But when you get a rites of passage, which is passed down from your father, male of your family, your line, and then you could track all your lineage and the things that your ancestors are connected to, there's a point that you reach where it blends in with historical events and things that actually happen in the world. So there are certain things that I did know. My ancestors built things, and people who were like them needed places to stay. That doesn't mean that we totally agreed with the agenda. It doesn't mean that we were in cahoots with the scam they were running or doing. It means that we were the ones building these buildings. My grandfather, my father's father, built the first funeral home, the first original funeral home in Indiana in 1936, documented in history. His brother was going along with this weirdo stuff, and a couple of ancestors with them were going along with this, not in the weirdo clandestine Masonic, Freemasonic nonsense that we see today, that we have people going on to have an agenda to make sure that we do not rise above and we stay in the damn some crab in a barrel situation. But the brothers back then were actually building things. That's what it was all about. It had nothing to do with no weirdo philosophy or none of that stuff. It was about building. But anyway, 102 West 130th Street on Friday night, Friday night last, to meet Dr. Abdul Hamid of Khartoum, Egypt, a 96-degree Mason. Okay, we heard Dr. Ben talking about some old silly 360 degrees. We heard Malachi Z. York say, oh, he got 360 degrees. Well, I'm a 72 degree. And I'm going to tell you right now, all that degree nonsense that those clandestine idiots be talking about and did talk about in the past, no disrespect to the grave, but there was some lies being put out because of who they were really working for. It's a joke. These degrees that they claim to get are jokes. And I'm saving that for another day. Like I said, this covers a wide variety of information. So, and the Shriner at a dinner tendered by Brother Harry Knight. Oh, Bobby Knight, is that your people? No, I'm just playing. Himself a Shriner, among others in the party were worshipful Grand Master David W. Parker, Grand Worthy Secretary Arthur A. Ackenberg, and Deuce A. Muhammad Ali. Mohammed Ali. Many might be familiar with Deuce A. Muhammad. Effendi. Now, you see this? Effendi. E-F-F-E-N-D-I. Tried to explain that in the language, the N-D was changed to N-D and later to N-D-N. And then it's later to Indiana into Indianapolis. But it's just N-D. A countryman of the guest of honor, John Edward Bruce, contributing editor of the Negro World and editor of the Masonic Quarterly, Quarterly Review, and Dr. Abdul Hamid's private secretary, Brother Clarence Kane. If some of those are familiar with these names, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, these are those names.
Hey, real quick. Hey, my brother Epic, I'm gonna let you on, but please, can you wait till we get a presentation? Then you can tap in. We're gonna give everybody time to tap in. I'm gonna let you on, but can you hold to after the presentation? Hold your thoughts, please, brother. Welcome to the platform. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, important matters touching the good and welfare of the order were disguised. Hold on. Make sure I'm getting it. Yeah, see some of these words, that font and print and type, man, it was terrible. Discussed. Some of the matters were discussed in a general way, and much information concerning its primary as a fraternal organization among the Blacks of Africa. See what's going on here? I thought that more say that it's not Blacks and it's not Africans. But why do they have this in here before Jesse Jackson was talking about Blacks in Africa? I ran into the same situation with the funeral home that my grandfather, my father's father built, where it was said Negro, but then the brother that was going along with the get along later changed it to African American. But they're using Blacks of Africa in this right here. Okay, so here goes another word that's way too burdened. So it might be elicited. I think it was elicited. I don't know. So that word, y'all, bear with me on that word. From Dr. Hamid, who is a walking encyclopedia on things Masonic. Yeah? By the way, he was also the linguist. The dinner was a dream in variety, excellence in service, and reflected highly on the skill of Brother Craig as a culinary artist. And here it is again. They're showing the clipping again. So let's see what they said about it. In 1923, 1923, a story coming out of New Jersey was picked up by the well-known national literary magazine, The Smart Set. Oh, shit, they must be in pain because that's smarts. A man claiming to have religious authority, there we go with that religious authority, derived from his connection to Mecca, not begun a movement for spreading Mohammedanism. They weren't even calling it Islam. It was called Mohammedanism, Mohammedan, among the Negroes of the United States. Muslim, see how it's spelled, groups have been started in New Jersey. One of them at Newark was where a mosque has been established. From there, the Islamic missionaries. Oh, we got a big problem here, don't we? Y'all some missionaries,
hey,
Islamic
if
missionaries.
y'all can Share this on your platform. That's the only thing I ask. Share it on your platform. Go ahead, brother.
These Islamic missionaries, damn, we got these Catholic situations, Jesuit stuff, and the Arabic order. Oh yeah, missionaries. Okay. So they like some Mormons going door to door. They like your Jehovah Witnesses trying to get you to get along with they weirdo. Oh, okay. So we'll move upon the South. The figure leading this movement had several months earlier had headlines in various U.S. newspapers. Now, before I get to that part down there, because I'm telling you, it just gets more and more interesting. This is the Moorish Society. Damn. Might have to bring my ownish Pranks Tyrone voice up in this one. Damn. The Moorish. They weren't calling it Morocco. That's what the pale face changed the name to. Okay. Follower of Mohammed. Six Negro converts.
I see you.
July 15th, Dr. Abdul Hamid Suleiman, a native of Arabin. Oh, this must be a Bedouin, a Badawi, said to have been the high priest at Mecca for several years, has inaugurated a movement for spreading Mohammedanism. They threw a T in it that time. Among the Negroes of the United States, Muslim groups have been started. One of them at Newark, where a temple has been established. The Mohammedans in New York hope to construct a mosque here. Dr. Suleiman says he is bringing into closer religious harmony the Negro, Turkish, and Syrian Muslims. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Doing too much. Okay. In one front page article, this man of African descent, now we get down to the bottom of all that another day, but this is where the stuff was established and brought here. I don't give a fuck if the original words are from here. This is what they brought back here with their agenda and the people they were working with. Again, the Orientalists, again, the 96 degrees, again, the burlesque degrees, the vaudevilles, the minstrel show. Let's go. So a man of African descent was depicted wearing a fez, and it was reported that he had been proclaiming his movement to be both Islamic and Masonic, a Mohammedan Mason, and spoke of his mystical and Egyptian connection. To it was later relayed that he had been leading a number of New York City Muslims in attempting to win Negroes to their Mohammedan faith by stressing the fact of the absolute equality of races and genuine brotherhood under Mohammedanism, as in opposition to well-known attitude of white Christians. You see what's going on here, y'all? This is the minstrel show.
Yes, sir. Shout out Smoke Signals in the house. My naga. Much respect.
So here he is. So for everybody, especially if you are more,
go ahead, bro.
Stop showing me Noble Drew Ali. Show me your real founder, the person who really brought Arabic, who really brought Arabic symbols. Show him. Stop lying. Show the real deal, the real creator and founder of y'all code. The man who was leading this movement went by the name Abdul Hamid Suleiman, not Noble Drew Ali, and was definitely not the same person as Drew Ali. Bite him in your goddamn face. The findings presented here will show that it is highly probable that Abdul Hamid Suleiman and his movement influenced Noble Drew Ali before 1922. God damn, I gotta bring on this Prince Tyrone back. Damn. Oh, brother, Habibi, what's going on here? The Mecca Medina Temple and Dr. Prince Day Suleiman, the man going by the name of Abdul Hamid Suleiman, Suleiman, they changed to Solomon. There goes the other evidence that they were taking original names and changing them. Appears to have first achieved recognition in the public press in August 1922 after he attended the African American Masonic Convention held that month in Washington, D.C. at the convention to formally present himself to the leadership of the main faction of the African-American Shriner community, known as the Ancient Egyptian Arabic Order Nobles of the Mystic Shrine. Oh, he put Egypt in there so they'll try and lie and say it's not connected. Don't work here, buddy. Same thing. There, Suleiman communicated that the group's head, Caesar R. Blake Jr., his demand of the AEAONMS to come under the protection of what he called the Mecca Medina Temple of ancient, free, and operative Masons from 1 to 96 degrees. The true shrine, which is in later interview, Suleiman claimed to have incorporated himself in New York City, though he gave no date for his incorporation. The news reports, damn, he was on the news, he was popping. Okay, he had it popping, which contained a picture of the man who clearly looked to be of African descent. See the game they playing? Indicated that he was an Arabian. So Arab. So when we hear more saying that Arabs are really whatever they want to say, really melanated and all that, there we go. Got something for that too. By the end of the month, Suleiman had written a letter to the New York World newspaper providing more information about his background. Really? Abdul Hamid Suleiman of the city of Khartoum, Sudan, Egypt. Damn. 10 of Muhammadan by birth, master of the Quran, having pilgrimage to Mecca 3 times, and thus become an eminent high priest and head of all Masonic degrees in Mecca, Arabia, from the 1st to the 96th degree, and now in the United States for the purpose of establishing the rites, R-I-T-E, of the ancient Arabic order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine. Oh, y'all didn't think it was there, huh? Y'all thought it was going to be Egyptian in there to try and make these pseudo-Moors, these swamp squatters, to try and say that it's not connected to something. You can't do it now, buddy. Ancient Arabic order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine is a part of the burlesque degree. Period. I ain't here to answer the questions relative to these degrees until I return home to Mecca to enroll the name of the true Shriners of this country. 12 reporters who interviewed Blake about Suleiman discovered other biographical information. Excuse me. He claimed to be 77 years old, and Blake, who had several conversations with him, with the man, took him to be what he represented himself to be. That is to say, he accepted as authentic and biographical details Suleiman claimed. It was also noted that although Suleiman was very dark-skinned, see, there they go with that shit again, he had the blue eyes and characterized Egyptians of the pure type. So he was real dark and had blue eyes, huh? I bet you, what's the name? I bet you Farrakhan like that because he likes the soft, dainty eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? I'm skinned lightly, and I don't have dainty eyebrows, and I don't have no damn comb over, like Farrakhan said that he prefers the people of the olive skin, or to say. So anyway, a Mecca Medina Temple of AF and AM filed for incorporation on July 15, 1920 in Youngstown, Ohio. 10 years prior to this, on February 4th, 1910, and here we go. It was reported that an African-American Masonic Lodge by the exact name referred to by Suleiman had been incorporated in New York City with the approval of Supreme Court Justice Gerard. See, like I said, I don't see no swamp squatters being lawyers, paralegals, or judges, but they all talk about it, and you just damn swamp squatters. So anyway, 16, this news brief notes that among the incorporators are the Reverend Robert B. Mount and D. Prince de Suleiman, which we know who that is. Now we got a Reverend up in here. Damn. 17, on February 20th, another news brief indicated that a Henry Rattlery of Long Island City. Damn, man, that shit totally didn't cut out on me like that.
Yeah, I'm back. I got knocked out, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just saw your screen come back. Okay, where was I at? Okay, Henry Rat LeRae of Long Island City was made the director of the organization. 18, I have found no other mentions of a Henry Rat LeRae. And while there are a few newspapers are, the typo, references to a Robert B. Mount. By the way, person has Mount like that means that they were around the mounds or born around the mounds. Anyway, none indicate any Masonic or Islamic ties. Who these two figures are then in their relations to any future Islamic movement, therefore remain uncertain. So here we are, the names of the people. Like I said, they wanted to erase the real founder and the real bringer of it, the one who was bringing to Bidawiyeh, Beja, who was mixing Berber and bringing these Tafina symbols over here and Arabic stuff over here, which was perverted by some weirdo $5 Indians to make us think that these are the symbols that they separate from it when actually it comes from this person, Abdul Hamid Suleiman. Again, Abdul Hamid Suleiman, not Noble Drew Ali or those other weirdos. Oh, so the name of the third man, however, the Dr. Prince Day Suleiman, may provide us with some clues. Now, I can read all day.
Hey, let me shout out C. Robert, John Vinay,
Yes.
and my brother DJ Cuddy in the house. Much respect to y'all. Go ahead, brother.
But it's not much more to read. The first occurrence is with a Prince Day Suleiman. See how they changed the name up, or Day Solomon. Many will say that English in Kunabula, Englishing is when you take the proper pronunciation of the words and you English it. So instead of saying Solomon, you would say Solomon. Listed as a lodger at a building in the 12th Ward of Manhattan in the 1910 census. Here he is described as a single 46-year-old Black African. There they go with that again, who had immigrated in 1908. He was illiterate. He was literate. I almost said illiterate, y'all. Hold on. He was literate in English, presumably, and in the column titled "Occupation" is written the phrase "own income." We don't have a Federal Reserve at that time. Abdul Hamid Suleiman was working with those who brought about, as I was saying earlier in the introduction, the promissory note, the Federal Reserve, the United States tender piece of paper that took us from our agrarian culture to this paper culture. And again, a whole nother story in itself. So own income, 22. This 1910 date, his race, and the New York connection are consistent with the Dr. Prince Day Suleiman described above. The other census listing is for 1920, recorded in January of that year. This time, the person's name of Dr. Prince Day Suleiman, a single Black 50-year-old Arabic-speaking Egyptian. His profession is listed as minister, and he was residing as a boarder in the town, as a boarder in the town of Mercer in Pennsylvania. Yeah, man, he was stretching across all kinds. He wasn't too far from you, big girl, Philly OG. Hey, all right, just 30 miles from Youngstown, Ohio, where, as we have seen, a Mecca Medina temple would be organized in July of that same year. The New York World interview in response to Suleiman's letter, the World sent the reporter to his residence of 143 West 130th Street, 130th Street, where the two talked for 4 hours. Suleiman told the reporter that he was aware of white Shriners' attempts to sue the AEAONMS, here we go with the lawyers and all that stuff, in order to prevent them from having their own separate Shriner organization. And Suleiman was arranging to receive the African American Masons and Shriners into the Mohammedan Masonry. Now, well, I'll wait till the callers come in to go in on that African being up in there. He insisted that African Americans did not have an authentic Masonic charter. See? So when we hear these Moors talking about it was the Moors that did everything, and we was over here throwing sticks and farting in teepees or some log cabins or something like that, when I know that my ancestors were building, making major brick homes that people who we have following so-called Tatarians, which, by the way, is very insulting, because you go Google Tatarian, and Hillary Clinton pops up there. Anyway, let me get back to let me chill out, man. Hold on. So basically, again, he's saying he insisted that African Americans did not have an authentic Masonic charter. You see, he's bringing a charter. Who do you go to get these charters? Ultimately, you can go get a charter with the UN, 501c3, but the high order charter, man, you got to go through them weirdos. You got to go through the paleface to get that. And to get the highest, the Ivy League school stuff, you got to go through the Royal Society. No ifs, ands, who, where, what's about it. There's nothing you can say. So, but he would now make the authentic by virtue of his authority as eminent high priest to grant a charter in a masonry, which he declares to be ancient and widespread throughout the Mohammedan world. Ancient, goddamn, okay. 27, Suleiman said that the U.S. blacks, okay, now we U.S. blacks, very insulting, would be allowed into his group or two conditions, So he's saying that these groups of people coming from over there, not from here, from over there, coming here on ship Westminster or the ships that Baron Day Hirsch of the Jewish Association Colonialization of the AIU, working with the Rothschilds, working with the Netter family, working, man, I could do it all day. Y'all, hold on. Let me just get back to it. Let me focus. Suleiman said that the U.S. blacks would be allowed into his group on two conditions. Really? That they vow by the beard of the prophet. What in the hell kind of weirdo shit is that? You vow by the beard. The beard. What is that? I don't get it. Some flea-bitten Bedouin beard? Come on, man. Fellowheen ass shit is that? By the beard of the prophet. Damn. That they will live according to the moral code of the Quran. With a K, not with a Q. Interesting. 28, becoming Mohammedans. If it was already here, it will be no need for a conversion. Again, if it was already here, no need for someone coming from over there on a ship to here to bring it here as Mohammedans, not Islam, Mohammedan. God damn it. As one newspaper described it, 29, and that they will pay to Mecca through none but Suleiman, a proportion of their lodge dues. God damn, it was all for the money. All for the money. All for the money, y'all. So there it is. Anybody wants to, the source of this stuff, I have more links. I have more sites from the Murakush Society that talks about the things that he did to get in jail, why people who associated with him were in jail, why we had stuff like the situation with Malcolm X, where he was exposing that Elijah Muhammad was out there doing some kid diddler stuff with some teenage girls. But they're keeping secret what they're doing behind doors. It's the clandestine weirdo group of people who came in with the Federal Reserve, who had an agenda with the Dayhurst colony, who had an agenda with the Rockefellers. You know what I'm saying? These groups, they hit us three ways, y'all. They hit us with W.B. Du Bois, with that Greek weirdo nonsense. They hit us with Abdul Hamid Suleiman, with that weirdo Arabic nonsense. And they hit us with Marcus Mosiah Garvey with that weirdo Red Cross stuff. All working in cahoots, all snakes coming in, giving us rattlesnake oil sales nonsense. Dang. And that's it. That's all on that part. Again, y'all, look this stuff up. It goes deeper. It digs deeper. If you really want to know, if you want to see my point of view on this, I'll say this. We had everything going for ourselves. 1870 to 1900, get the book A Small Nation of People. We had everything going for ourselves. We had an agrarian culture. Here comes these people, W.B. Du Bois, Abdul Hamid Suleiman, Marcus Garvey, and many other people attached to them. You heard some of the names before, and they needed places to go. So my ancestors knew where they went, knew which buildings that they built that they were going into. And let's see what somebody wrote about. Let's see what El Aimer El Mujadid. Again, this is not from somebody that has an issue with the Moors. This is from Moors. So what's going on here, y'all? American-born Moor, author, history researcher, modernist, 720 entrepreneur, corporate mogul in the making, who observes and analyzes human nature for data mining purposes. Knowing is half the battle. Wisdom is needed for appropriate application of knowledge and right reasoning. That is El Aimer El Mujadid. Okay? All right. So my personal situation with those Moors who hate my guts, that would love to blacklist me, would love to make sure people don't click on my channel, would say stuff like my channel's dead ass because I won't go along with their stuff that they're teaching. I'm showing y'all right here, and this is only the beginning of it. I prefer for people to dig into this and see for yourself that, oh shit, he's the one who really brought this stuff here. That means that Farad Muhammad, these other so-called people, and these other so-called connections with alphabets and languages and all this shit is on trial. We got to question all that. This is the real person who brought Arabic to America. This is the person who had what he created, Mohammedanism, perverted to Islam. This is the person that brought Canaanite society to America. This is the founder of it. And I have the pieces that go back to where they were putting it together. Where did he get that Canaanite society information from? He got it from Claudius Labib. Ardian Effendi, by way again, Claudius Labib's teacher is Ardian Effendi. And we see that we find Effendi in the title of associates and with Abdul Hamid Suleiman. And with that, I land my F-16. My F, whatever the latest jet is, I'm landing that motherfucker. And I'm ready to fuel it back up and blow up a whole lot more shit.
Hey, appreciate you, my brother. Fire presentation. Let me shout out the chat. First, let me shout out my brother, Epic Studies. Much respect, my brother. Always. You can tap in anytime you want now, my brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, brother.
Well, I'll let you finish showing your chat.
No, I'm finished.
Okay.
That was it right there.
Yeah, I shout out the chat real quick. Appreciate you, my brother. Epic Studies.
Indeed.
DJ EMO, Jan Renee, Empress Summer Rain, KC Featherhat, DJ Cut, Smoke Signals, My Naga, Sylvia Jones, Epic Studies. Make sure I shout my brother out. Wiesel, D. Allen Warren, C. Roberts, Sylvia Jones, Adine Said, C. Roberts, Red Squid, Crypto Cakes Cartel, Today You Can Dig It, 111. See who else. Shout out to everybody in the house. If I miss you, Dame 1700. Selling Hope, Red Squid X, Juice. Yeah, go ahead, my brother. You got it. And DJ Cut can tap into. But I'll tap in after you. Go ahead, Epic. You've been waiting patiently.
Indeed. Dude. Good. Hey, while I'm talking, does my picture come up? Boy, my avatar.
Yep.
Okay, so you see what I have up there, right, bro?
Yep.
Then,
Well, I can't zoom in.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out because I actually came across that, man, with this. I came across this like I think about a couple months ago. And you think that, what you were talking, it ended there in the past, but no, according to this right here, what you're looking at right now, it was like he done made another pop-up in 1986.
They made another article in 1986?
Yeah, this according to it's not an article, but if you can, like, you can see my avatar picture thing there. It shows it's actually an organization based in Tripoli.
Yeah, I think you screen sharing, brother.
Yep, yeah, we see it.
It's not screen sharing. That's a screenshot I'm using for my avatar picture.
I got you.
Because I know when I talk, people can see it. So that's why I put it up there. Because I just want to, share that in accordance to what, the information that you were sharing as well. Because I also came across that information that you just presented too. And it's for these reasons and other reasons as well, bro, because I've done my research as well. Because like I said, I learned, from over there. But then when I, learned to, when I became the researcher I became because of that movement, I had to examine, also the people that was around, that represent that movement. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't, before I even thought about even taking that position of joining, because I've never joined any movement, church, any synagogue or anything like that anyway. Because when I find myself doing the research on these organizations, they have for the most part, most of them have a questionable history that went unchecked and unrecognized by those who didn't know, but mostly by those who did know, because these people that did know were the players in the game. So yeah, shout out to you though, bro, for presenting this information and telling the truth.
I appreciate
you. Yeah, appreciate you as well too, bro.
Kato, George, I see you out there. Much respect. What's good, DJ Cut? You can tap in, brother. Much respect.
Man, hey, I just tapped in to say, man, much love, OG, man, and god damn, you done got Lotus up in here with the Hulk smash on their ass.
I practiced Islam for 20 plus years and I denounced it. And I was a Sunni Muslim. I didn't do the Islam over here, but I seen it over here, the Moors or none of that. I went straight to, Sunni Muslim, practicing from the, and I denounced it all. That's why I'm glad this brother bringing up this fire information, and this is part of it. But I connected it, all these religions working together.
That's right.
The Boulets, working together to control the masses. They're the ones that's getting the tax-free lifestyle, under the 501Cs, and that's my, like I said, I'm glad the brother been coming over here every week and dropping his knowledge on the people. You know what I mean? So much respect to that, brother, because like I said, I practiced Islam for 20 plus years before I denounced it, before I denounced all religions. You know, I just couldn't see, you know, the Christian way. So I took the Islamic route.
Right.
That's right.
You know, and I denounce all of them. Y'all, hey, I know, I no longer respect any of them. Like I said, I see they the bootlegs that's selling this out, and I'm gonna pass the mic. Much respect to everybody.
Man, when I look at it, man, like, you know, we're older though, you know what I'm saying? But when we remember back, we know our our grandmothers, aunties, mothers and stuff that way more devout than a lot of these people that we see today. And they went, you know, they spent their time, you know, living and dying on this stuff, invested financially as well as time, all of that type of stuff on something that we know today as falsehood. And that right there brings up emotions of anger, frustration, and things of that nature. So when you see certain things, especially this presentation today, which I've never heard nor seen anything like that, Lotus, shot out, I was like, oh my God. It's a big domino effect, and I really do appreciate it, gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
Truly my
Cherokee,
pleasure.
I see you. Much love, Cherokee. Go ahead, brother.
Blame the Moors for this, you know. You know what I'm saying? There's many Moors that I have no issue with, and they know that I know these things. Alim Bey knows that I know about this. I see the Duke of Tears. He knows that I know about this. You know, they know this stuff, and I'm like, why don't you guys talk about it? Because there are people who know about this, and they won't say this. They won't go into the details about it. And then you have a lot of people who are claiming to attach themselves to the paradigm of Moorish science, but they're not going to, you know, really share these things with you. They're not going to share that their stuff is Christian, Canaanite, Islamic, Arabic based. They don't want to share that the details come from someone having a damn collection plate, trying to get a charter, trying to gather the money, reporting back to who. When you get that charter, you have to report your members. You know, when I dealt with the Ethiopian Rail Federation Incorporated, they had a 501c3. I still have the application. When they explained to me what a 501c3 is and that they have a seat on the United Nations and the things that it's connected to, I had to turn it down. I got love with the president, you know what I'm saying, of Ethiopian Rail Federation and all that. But there were certain things that I started finding that were very odd. This started around the same time all these other things were going on. And I found it very odd that all these groups that are doing these things, they're all working together. They're all working with the bankers, the Rothschilds. They're all working with the Orientalists, the Rockefellers. And they're the ones that are going around fixing up areas, making tourist attractions. These are the group of people who were working with them, building up Egypt to make you think it was something ancient, when in fact it was something that was made recently. And so there's so much to it and so much attention that they were a part of taking our attention away from having control over here, taking our attention away from having power over here, and to pointing our brains and our minds to Mecca, and pointing our brains and our minds to Israel, and pointing our brain and our minds to think we're from Africa, you know, and all these other things that have plagued us with misinformation. Let me find my other one. You know what I'm saying? When I show this, these comedic groups, they panic. They panic when I show them prove that they were taking stuff out of here, taking it over there, and then we get these Abdul Hamid Suleimans pointing you to Egypt, and we get Noble Drew Ali talking about he's an Egyptian adept. And then we'll be under the impression thinking they're talking about the real Egypt over here in America, and in fact, they're talking about over there. They're not talking about over here. And so, you know, this is a thing for me that I was really not focused on doing, because I feel that this is opening a wound that received no peroxide, that received no vinegar, received not enough air to heal. And for some, this is going to be very painful.
Hey, Matthew, my brother
Yes.
Logan, you know me, I want to stick it in and turn it. You know what I mean? Then pull it out. Gotta twist that motherfucker a little bit. Let him feel it. Go ahead, brother. You got it.
Yeah, and it needs to be done, man. We need to move. We need to start moving in a better direction. You know, we need to start prospering. We need to start winning. And all these different groups that I see that they have all this power. Nation of Islam and Farrakhan is damn near gathered billions to trillions of dollars, but we're still in the condition that we're in. Chicago is still looking away. Now we can all say, okay, well, we can strap our boots, strap up and pull ourselves up and go build and do these things ourselves. But I see the ones who are getting all the attention, who are getting all the praise while we're in these same conditions, which are even worse now than it was 2-3 years ago. Well, 3 to 4 years ago. And it's only getting worse.
Sponsor executive sessions in the house. Much respect, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Peace. Executive sessions. And you know, man, it needs to come out. I made sure some Moors who were taking shots at me and all this type of stuff that they would be here. I see that they're not here. I haven't really been able to check out the chat, but I see that they have not popped their heads up. You know, it is what it is. You know, people like Taharka Bey, they don't want no smoke with me on this. Imam Bashir, they don't want no smoke with me on the Quran. But it's always those who instead of attacking the information, or at least the approach to the information, they would rather attack my character and try and break my character down and try and give people the impression to not go to me, don't pay attention to me, don't go to my channel, don't listen to anything he has to say. He's a habitual liar. He's lying to us, and you know, or whatever. When really it's just the fact that they don't want people to know the truth of the matter in the situation that we're in now. If we can dig into what really happened and what really was going on, we can establish a point of reference to where we go from here and move forward. Like last night on Supreme Chief Holiday's channel, the brother the brother that was doing the things with the optometry was talking about the brother that made the machine to create water. There's no discussion to have after that. If you look up TETRA, Tetra, this is a multi-billion-dollar company that controls our water. But we have situations with cities where the water is filthy and dirty and contaminated and killing people. I mean, it's making people so sick that they're dying. People so sick that they have to go to the hospital. We have these situations happening in other places too. And we already know about areas, just period, in our cities that they never focused on keeping our pipes running clean and keeping our pipes clean and all these things with the water. So something like that is very important. But we'll have someone divert it. We'll have someone take us off of it. So I want to make sure that all this information in the history is put out there. And I will admit that a lot of this stuff I didn't have a full grasp on. There are many things that I said when we were putting together Tribe Up and we established a whole foundation for all our good brothers and sisters of the feather who are from here to have a channel to go to. So when we put together Tribe Up and we started this Tribe Up situation that was going on, I didn't have all the information that I have now. And it wasn't until I traveled to Indiana that I could go and visit places and see things for myself. It wasn't until I traveled to New York to see the Seneca burial ground that it wasn't even called Seneca burial ground or Negro burial ground until after the beginning of the 20th century, more like 1930s and 1940s, that the original name of Seneca was what it is. And these things are things that are important at the same time. For those, it might not be as important. But if we get to the point of understanding that, okay, we have all these things going on. We have the sports, the NFL, the NBA. They done made sure we're not in baseball. And that's just, that in itself is a story in itself. That damn, you could go play baseball for 10, 20 years. Man, who the hell called him? The hell? Oh, man, are you serious? Hold on, somebody tried to call. With baseball, man, baseball players will pay 10, 20 years and make millions upon millions upon millions. And, you know, football, you got 3 to 7 years. Your body's breaking down. What the fuck is that? In basketball, you know what I'm saying? A good 7 to 10 years. You know, if you don't get an early injury that's detrimental to your career. So we had the Negro League. Now, my ancestor, my father's brothers, my great uncles, both of them, last name Hood, children of Edward Snelling Hood, played in the Negro League. My father's cousin is Mr. Basketball, Garrett Moore, Mr. Basketball. So it's like when you have these attachments to history, footprints in history, and you get the information and data that was going on during that time, it gave me a different look on stuff. And some of the things I had to let go that I really believe were true, and I had to deal with the fact that they were incorrect. And, you know, it's things that I had to face. And I don't have cognitive dissonance, so I righted all my wrongs as much as possible. And I'm here today to make sure that these wrongs that I put out, that some people might still believe that I put out 6-7 years ago, that it's time to correct them. You know, it's time for these things to be corrected. You know, it's time. It's time for us to correct this stuff and move on and really start building. So I wanted to make sure I did this because I had a little social attack by some Moors who have developed a new name for me called Buckethead Swamp Squatters, because they claim to be the builders of everything and all this stuff over here when actually they were not. And in fact, you will see that the last name is the same as my last name. And I have the information directly connected to that was my ancestor. That is an ancestor of my father, you know, that were a part of these things that were going on. There's an upper echelon of our people in the Midwest and back east and the northern parts of the South who had these things going on, who lost control. And these many families, some of them stay connected in family reunions in the Midwest, in the South, and back east. That's basically all the same area. The crossroads of America, Indiana. And many of them have this information. So I had a relative pass while I was in Indiana, and I was able to meet, you know, relatives in their 80s, 90s, some of them in the hundreds, but they, you know what I'm saying, they really didn't want to talk too much and couldn't, you know, talk too much because it was at a funeral. So I was able to gather information. I was able to find out things. And when you start digging into this stuff and you start talking to your grandparents, you know, great uncles, great aunts and stuff that are living, you can get a perspective and start putting data together. And it makes it easier for the research to see what's going on, to see like, damn, okay, we have property over there. Well, maybe I might want to think about moving back over there and reclaiming my land. Or I might want to go to these areas and start building and bring something new. I want to leave damn, I can't think of the word right now, y'all. I want to leave a type of legendary situation. Damn, the word really slips my mind. I ain't gonna lie, I'm having a brain fart. So I need to drink some more of my papaya. I want to leave a legacy. There it is. I want to leave a legacy. You know, I want to leave a legacy, and I feel that if not all of us, at least the majority of us, want to leave a legacy and to make sure that we build a better future for our people and take our destiny back. It's going to be tough. I feel we can do it, though. The way things are going now, the technology, the way we can put out videos, we now can do it. You know, and I relinquish the mic with that being said.
Got my brother Smoke Signals on the panel. Welcome, Smoke. Roxanne Hamilton, much love, much respect. Appreciate you.
Salute.
Salute,
Shout
Smoke.
out to the channel, to the panel, and to the chat, man. Power to the motherfucking people. What's up with you, Lotus? Now, the question I got is, are you suggesting that what we consider this Moorish paradigm was introduced by this fella that you just was talking about here earlier? Abin, so whatever you said is Suleiman.
Yes, sir. Yeah, let me get him up there. There he is. Yes, sir.
Or wait a minute. Is it also being suggested that he based his ideology on that ancient Moorish culture, or was it all completely fabricated?
Yeah, we talking about big time fabrications, man. Big time fabrications. It's called a burlesque degree. The burlesque degree to write stories to inspire people to be better people. So it can be a story that's good. Jonah and the whale, you know what I'm saying? Enoch, Noah, surviving his family. It's something to inspire the good and people and all that. It's a burlesque degree.
Wait a minute. This is what I'm trying to gather here. Is it a fabrication based on the fact that there were Moors in antiquity, though?
No. Didn't even he used the word Mohammedans and Canaanites. The word Moor comes after what he was putting together in 1908 and 1910. They didn't start using the word Moorish or any of that until about 1926 and established it in 1928. He used the word Canaanite.
Hold on.
Canaanite,
so this story,
Canaanite and Mohammedan.
Shout out to M. Brown. I see you, M. Brown.
So this story we hear about the Moors civilizing
Willie Evans, I see you, brother.
Civilizing parts of the Iberian Peninsula. Are you saying that these people were never identified as Moors at that time?
Oh no. Moor, I'm gonna be blunt as possible. The word Moor is a German and English word. So in Spanish, where Spain is, the word for Moor is paramo. P-A-R-A-M-O. Paramo. Paramo. In French, it's land, L-A-N-D-E. In Italian, and Latin, which would be Latin coming from over here. So when people say Moorish Latin, they're lying to you, which is attached to the Moorish history. They'll say Moorish Latin. It's a lie because in the Latin language, the word L-A-N-D-A is landa, and that is the word for Moor.
Hey, this is quite damaging to the Moorish paradigm. We may have to get you a security detail or put you in a disclosed location behind dropping this information, man. You're gonna really piss off a lot of people.
They've been threatening my life, man, for years.
Shout out Willie Evans. I see you, Garfield. I see you, Roxanne Hamilton. Got my brother Executive Sessions on the panel. Go ahead, y'all got it, man.
What's up with y'all?
Peace, Executive. What's going
Humor,
on, man?
much respect. Humor Phoenix.
Man, you know Lotus, my God.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, Lotus, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So I was always, understood that the Circle 7 or the Moorish Science Temple, all that stuff, Noble Drew Ali and all this stuff was a rewrite or, dare to say, a pleasurization of the Aquarian Gospels of Jesus. So is that not true?
Yes, that is right. That is right.
So that's what I've always was taught to understand, that it's basically just a rewrite, of the Aquarian Gospels of Jesus.
Chocolate coconut. Shout out Beast Mode.
And that was a Levi who wrote the Aquarian Gospel, and the Levi who wrote the Aquarian Gospel was in cahoots with this man right here, Abdul Hamid Suleiman. They were working together, and Claudius Labib was the one who wrote it in Coptic and Arabic in Egypt.
No, I'm with you. I'm here to support you, brother. Every time I show up, I'm here to support you, from the fake pyramids all the way to the, the fake Moorish doctrine.
Goddamn.
You know what I'm saying? So, you my brother. See, they don't know who you are, Lotus. They'll learn over time. They'll learn. They don't know who you are.
I got another question though. So who was the people who civilized Iberian Peninsula?
I mean, when you deal with history, I draw a blank. The curriculum that we call history, I found that it was created by the AIU. And a few months ago, I went over to the Alliance Israelite Universal. So they were the ones that created the history of the Moorish history or the Islamic history. So all of those so-called periods or those empires that they'll say happened in Morocco and happened in Spain and the names too and all that stuff, they were putting it together during that time. You have Sir Williams, I'm trying to remember if it was Williamson, Sir Williams Muir, M-U-I-R. You have Rahman, who was working with him, and you have Mr. Gilman, an Irish Freemason. They were the ones who put this stuff together. They're the ones that created the Arabic, the Arabian Nights, the Golden Age of Islam, the periods leading up to Ibn Arabi, from Ibn Washiyah to Ibn Arabi to Khaldun. Damn, excuse me, y'all, that was disgusting. That papaya seed juice. Okay, so you have these stories that are being created during that time. And on my Matthew Douglas Craig channel, I have a 28-minute video where I go over the creation of the grammar of English today. In the beginning of it, I'm literally showing all of those so-called Arabic sources and the people who really, put it together today, that created that history. I have shared, what's his name? Gustav Liberach Flugel, putting together the authoritative Quran in the late 19th century. I believe the year was 1889. And they'll say the start is 1834 to 1889. So I love having a teacher like Walter Williams, having your dates and your names and everything in order. So we have that he put this together. And when he put this together, he was working with these group of people. The AIU, anyone can look up the AIU. You could go to the Jewish Library, the AIU, and get the history from the Bloodly Bell. The Bloodly Bell leading up to the founding in 1860 of the AIU and the things that they were putting together. The Quran in Islam is one of the main things they put together. Now, you can look into the Paganino father and son situation. You can look into Catherine the Great and Mullah, was it? Damn, man, slipping on my names. I can't remember his name at the moment. The hell? You must have got kicked out.
Yeah,
Mullah, yeah.
Shout out
Mullah,
MVG. I see you out there, MVG. Welcome to the channel. Go ahead, brother.
Mullah Osman Ismail. And that's who they say created the Arabic press type and font. And even when you get into the Pope, I believe it was Pope Julian or Julius II, who authorized the Quran supposedly in the 16th century. And he worked with Abraham Hickelman, and another character. Y'all, I'm not even looking or reading none of this stuff, man. I've gone over this stuff so many times. Most of these names like second nature now. That you get all these stories of these Qurans and these Quran Arabic printing presses being put together. But then when you dig into when you get down to the footnotes and you get down to the origin and the dates when it's being put together, you'll find it's all AIU. That Jacob Montino, that Leo Africanus, all these stories were written by the AIU and their associates. Let me make it, I want to make sure I make it simple as possible. That these stories are fabrications that were created by the burlesque degree. The burlesque degree created the Kabbalah, the Torah, the Talmud, the Holy Bible. They created the Quran. They created Hinduism. They created Buddhism. They created Native American history. They created the history connected to Chichen Itza, connected to the Inca, the Olmec, the Mayan, the ancient Egyptian, the Chinese. They're the ones that created the Chinese history. it gets deep, but it's not really that deep. I mean, I'm gonna just, be plain as possible, whatever the word is, layman as possible. They put these things together for us. Rather it's a good story in it, rather it's a bad story in it. They put these things together to create inspiration for their people. And it's sick that they try and make us think that it's real, but this is what they did. Like they shout out to Tasco when we did the last American Horror Show. I don't want to give away too much of it. Y'all must check out the second American Horror Show. That they created Christopher Columbus story in the late 19th century. In the 19th century, they'll try and backdate it, but it's really 19th century and 20th century. And originally the $5 bill had Columbus on it. So even when they brought in this Federal Reserve, this promissory note, this U.S. legal tender, that they slapped Columbus on there on the $5 bill. I don't want to give away too much because Tasco put in a lot of work on that. I definitely would have to check that out to see, the connections to it. That's what they did. They created these stories for inspiration. And some of these stories, we have to say, that's not inspiring. Sodom and Gomorrah ain't inspiring. Most of our people, we probably wouldn't even known of that weirdo type of lifestyle going on if they didn't jam Sodom and Gomorrah down our throats. From Cain and Abel to all these things, all these stories, it was a group of people who were putting these things together. And you can find the information in the burlesque degree. You can find the information in the vaudeville, and you can find the information in the minstrel shows. And when it comes to the minstrel shows, that's when they're painting us in a picture as being lesser than the losers in the world, and those who are more melanated to be deemed unworthy, or things that are connected to eugenics. So they put all these things out there. And the date that I found was 1875. But when you go on Google, they'll try and backdate it to 1780 or 1790 or something like that. But they really didn't enforce this stuff until after 1875.
Hey, shout out my brother Quiet Storm Sean. I see you, brother. Go ahead.
All right, now notice we get a little pushback here.
Okay.
All right. Now the minstrel shows, from my understanding, comes out of like the velour stuff, and it wasn't so much about picking on niggas. It was so much about picking on the minorities of any society. Different minorities from different societies coming together, almost like America's Got Talent, or like a freak show. They will make fun of the royalty, make fun of midgets, make fun of black people. That's where blackface come in.
Yes.
Things like that. This actually comes out of France. This was like their entertainment shows that became velour shows. But by the time you get to America and it becomes like minstrel shows, they kind of focused on the blacks, because what else we got going on around here but enslaving niggas. So they didn't have a lot of the different minorities. They made fun of the Irish, because you got to remember the Irish were slaves too. So they got made fun of. They made fun of midgets especially, and royalty, how they was having a lot of incest. All these were part of their dramas and plays, and they were shows and entertainment shows and stuff. This where you get. This why when you look at my channel, there's people be looking at it like, damn, what's that blackface stuff you putting on there? Because they don't understand the minstrel show era. They don't understand the minstrel show era. So, hold on, let me show y'all something.
No, I agree with that. The minstrel, I don't agree with the backdating of the minstrel show, but I know that the blackface. Bamboozle. The film Bamboozle talks about it.
Let me see that, bro. Let me see that. Let me see. They said this was fire right here. They said this was fire. Yeah, he said he got some fire right here. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right, my bad. I just want to. Oh wait, no, 420 all day. Okay, continue. What were we talking about?
Executive. Let me show that gas real quick. The minstrel show where you were explaining that it wasn't that part of it wasn't completely.
So it wasn't about racism, about the minstrel shows. I mean, it wasn't in the blues shows. It was about picking at minorities. It was about different minorities coming together and kind of picking at kind of how niggas do today. You know what I'm saying? Coming together, picking at and making light of the different prejudices that was going on. This is why you get your first black entertainers coming out of the early 1900s, late 1800s. Burt Williams, the first singers, Mamie Smith, they coming out these minstrel shows. You know what I'm saying? Then later on you get Betsy Smith. And so this is where you get your first entertainer, your blues artists, all your Louis Armstrongs and all your famous people that we used to see in the cartoons. And all doing the blackface wasn't so much like we looking at it in modern days. It was a comedy era that was accepted, but they during the silent film era. But what they did is they was making a lot of money. Similar to how they drafted Jackie Robinson to the baseball league to kill the Negro League. Paramount Pictures and Universal came together to kind of knock out the Negro early silent picture films. You know what I'm saying? And look at Paramount and Universal to this day. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I want to give you a little pushback about the minstrel shows and those things. It wasn't about racism so much. It was more about picking at all the different minorities, inflictions, period. Whether you was a midget, whether you was a gay person, didn't matter. They're picking on you on the show.
That's right. They had the watermelon jokes. They had a couple other things in there. No, that's right. I agree with that. I agree with that on the minstrel show.
I mean, yeah, by the time you get focused later on to just the Americans, version of it, and you got a lot of Irish people fresh out of slavery. So, they focusing on the blackface, watermelon joke, what they call that, dancing, Jim Crow and all that stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's where that stuff comes from. Because the Irish was the first slaves to come over. You know what I mean? After the Spanish and Irish treaty was broken. What they call it, Treaty of Dingle. After they knocked them down, they enslaved all them Irish and sent them all through the goddamn colonies. So the Irish are getting out of this indentured servitude and slavery. You're talking about 500,000 Irish being enslaved way into the colonies in Virginia, all through the Bahamas and the what they call that, Barbados.
That's right.
All them little small little islands that nobody had heard of down there by St. Croix and all that. Yeah, they was sending Irish slaves all through the Caribbean to all them little small islands to make it all the way down to Brazil. And they were selling them all through South Carolina and North Carolina. So the Irish slaves was the number one commodity early because niggas cost too much, to be honest with you. Irish was cheap. They can kill an Irish. The English can kill an Irish and didn't have no penalty for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they start slaving them, making money off of them, because the niggas costed too much money. Because the niggas had different skill sets. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these Aboriginals, they knew how to play with the plants and make these what we call indigo dyes and stuff, which was the number one commodity. Yeah, see, the Irish couldn't do all that. That's why the niggas costed more. So they started enslaving Irish by hundreds of thousands, 40,000. Yeah, the English hated the goddamn Irish. And they enslaved them all through the colonies way before they did any goddamn niggas.
That's right. They filled up Massachusetts and became the Flatfoots, the Octagon Society. They had issues in Chicago too.
Yeah. But listen, I'm in this big old line. We're gonna go to this big ass event. It's 420 in up Caddy style. 420 in the building. Shout out to my boy Lotus. Shout out to Big Dog OG. Shout out to Smoke in the building. You know how we do it. Shout out to the chat. I'm out. Plane landed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get up in this event right here.
That's right. That's right.
Mic check.
Yeah, we hear you.
Good.
Any evidence to make a suggestion on why all the fabrication? Like, why was it necessary for them to revise the historical account to support? What position would you assume was all this done?
Yeah, I would have to only assume. But I'll be objective as possible in my answer that they had a agenda to control the mind of the people. And if you can control the mind of the people and get into the imagination and, have their imagination believing that some man died on the cross and all these polemics and then leading up to these historical events, you can insert ideology into the story that will make sure people do not rise up against. And, you can see in each and every single one of those books that they put together, that in there is somewhere where they want you to put all your faith into the Most High, or all your faith into Allah, or all your faith into Jesus Christ, or all your faith into Buddhism and turn the other cheek with Jesus Christ, and Hinduism being forgiven of people doing all these things. So we see an agenda to make us docile, an agenda to, give us a sense of no hope, to take away our destiny. They manifest a destiny for us. And then they even put an end game in these books, Revelation. So on top of the indoctrination, we have Revelation that makes people believe that, the end's coming. So what's there to really fight for? What's there to really stand up for when the end is coming? Or we don't have to do this because God's going to do it for us. God's going to crack the sky open and come down with a bunch of angels on some chariots and rain hell on everybody. And then everybody's going to be saved and live in some new fantasy for 1,000 years. So across each and every single one of these books, it's taking the power away from the person. Now, the history part about it, to make you believe the history stuff, that goes only so far. But the clear message that we see in like the New Testament and all that stuff is to take you out of the driver's seat and put you in the back seat. And you got Jesus, you got Muhammad, Buddha, Hindu, and all of them. They all fitting in the damn driver's seat, and we in the back seat, and they just taking, they taking us down this path, down this road that is not in our best benefit. I mean, clearly, but we can see that we're not in the position, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be Joe Biden in there. It should be one of us in there running it. All those people in Congress and all that running it, it shouldn't be them. It should be us running it. Our people created the Republican Party in Texas. Our people put this stuff together originally. And these groups of people came in, brought these books, brought this indoctrination, and now we don't have the power and we don't have the control anymore.
So even when it comes to the Council of Nicaea, right? When it comes even to the Council of Nicaea, are you saying this was part of the plot, right?
Council of Nicaea with Arius. Was it Arius in that one? I think it was the council before. I think it was the first Nicaea.
Yeah,
when it comes
to Council of Nicaea is when they basically changed Jesus from the statue to the cross.
Oh, okay.
When they voted on that.
Yeah, I have to stand where I stand. And with the stuff I know, that when it comes to, the information about these councils, man, I don't find validation in the evidence of it. But I mean, again, these are stories that they created. So for the individual to look into these stories, this Council of Nicaea, the period that they put it at, like, what's that, 3rd century, 4th century? I'm trying to remember, it was 325 AD.
Yeah, something like that.
That these stories are really happening in like
around in there. Yes, sir.
Around the 19th century. And when you look into these stories like that one, then you're digging into Moses Karanatsi, you're dealing with Saint Jerome, they're called the continuators. And then when you take their story, you're going to skip the golden age of Islam and you're going to come to Ramban, Moses Maimon Muhammadis. And then when you look into Moses Maimon Muhammadis, you're not going to find any empirical data. You're not going to find any, primary. You're going to find only secondary or third. They're going to say that, oh, we found this story was written in the 4th century, but we found it in 1920. Paganini with the Quran. Oh, they wrote this in the 16th century, but we found it in 1954. So it's with the dates that they say it happened. I question it, the validation of it. And when I look at the stories that they're putting together, I'm finding that a lot of them were put together by the AI. So that falls under the history. Walter Williams used to tell me like, oh man, you can't call everything fake. Oh, you can't do all that. So that's why on my blog talk show in 2015, I read all the evidence. Like I read all the bits and pieces of the evidence from Berosus Belray Usunu, from Orgins to St. Jerome's to Moses Karanatsi, and found out that all these stories and the stuff that they're talking about, that there's no validation to prove that they were written during that time, that they were actually created in the 19th century. Best part about it, you don't have to believe me. Go look it up and then go find the empirical data, the foliage. Find the original writing of it. You won't be able to find it. They won't have it. And when you see what they're saying is the original, like here we got a piece of it. Like, damn, the book is like 100 pages and you're going to show me a piece of one page. And then, oh no, that piece of the page that you're looking at was a copy of another copy that was burnt. And then we made another copy later on. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? So what happens is you have a time that they claim in 1501, all information went through Inkunabula. When you look up Inkunabula, they're going to say all information reached a bottleneck and was Latinized. And then you find again in the 19th century, all information reached a bottleneck and was in full control of the AIU. So you would have to look into all the stuff that was printed, pressed out, or writing of the foliage to find the original stories. The stories are fun. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember all the details to them. I used to know all the councils, like what, 5 or 6 of them. I used to know all that stuff. I can't remember a lot of that stuff for anything, to be honest. I just know some of the stories, and I find too many holes in it. Even the art that they try and show us of it, I find a lot of holes in it. There was a lot of Orthodox Tawahedos who were making a lot of art. So when people try and say it's iconicalism, where they were changing the color of the people in the art, you're going to find a lot of stuff really happening in the 19th century. And I got a lot of information in that I'm still looking into myself. But again, I cannot find the empirical data for any of the councils, not Nicaea, Chalcedon, or any of those councils pertaining to Jesus, or even the argument, or even going back to Flavius Josephus, Pliny the Elder, and all the other groups of people, Tacitus, all these stories that they're supposedly writing, the Punic Wars and all that. I haven't found anything. That's just for me. So for anybody else, look into this stuff, find the empirical data. Don't settle for the primary. When you look into the primary, they're going to tell you that this is not the original. This is somebody who copied from the original. And it's like, how the fuck y'all know they copied? How y'all know they copied from the original without showing us the original? So I found a lot of information, like the councils with the missionaries. They'll say something was written about something in America, in Mexico, or California, with the 21 or 22 missions or whatever, and they'll say it's from the 15th or 16th century. But then when you look into the details of it, oh, we found a piece of paper from it in 1954. So it's an ongoing thing that I'm finding, that these stories, are missing, that they're missing the original. So I'm not saying that the story didn't happen. I'm saying that it didn't happen during those dates that they say it happened.
Yeah, well, I say it. I'm saying it didn't happen.
I'm with you on that because I struggled with it, you know, and I could
Yeah,
not
I'm
find
saying it
evidence.
didn't happen either. It's mythology.
See, there you go. See,
Hey,
and
let me ask you another question. Let me
for
ask you
sure.
another question. Do we have the original? Do we have the original Constitution?
Hell no, nah.
So all we have is a copy.
Yeah, we got Abraham Lincoln's Constitution.
Wait a minute. Abraham Lincoln's Constitution?
Yep, look up Abraham's Lincoln Constitution, man, and look up the founding fathers of the Republican Party, done by our Aboriginal brothers here in America, in Texas. They put together the Republican Party, and they put together that stuff, and they wanted to usurp them by putting together some fairy tale forefathers, and of course the Moors and those attaching themselves to the Moorish stuff went along with it to push that narrative along, to try and usurp our great inventors and innovators of the 19th century. So we're finding, they call it the Abraham Lincoln. If you look up the Abraham Lincoln Constitution, you'll be like, man, what the hell's going on here? Just like with stuff they got the United States printed on something, or USA on something, but really you don't get the United States until like 1890. I think it's end of the 1880s, and during the 1890s, the real United States is established. And before that, the flag looked nothing like it does today. The stripes went up and down. They were vertical. They were not horizontal. Make sure I'm saying it right. They were not horizontal. They were vertical. That was the flag of peace. And they changed this stuff, and they gave us a fabricated history. Jordan Maxwell. Anybody could www.Jordan Maxwell. Go look on his website. He's telling on his people. Just like Anatolia Fomenko was telling on his people for fabricating history. You can look into Anatolia Fomenko stuff, and he's going to tell you that Council of Nicaea stuff was really happening 1,000 years ago to 500 years ago, and then he don't have no evidence. That's why I really question him. But in Jordan Maxwell's website, he's showing the flag the way it looked in the 19th century. And until like 1924, you didn't put our hand over our heart to the flag. They raised their hand like the Nazis did. And that was going on even in the 1920s in America. So it's a lot of stuff connected to that Constitution, these amendments and stuff that are actually something that was created in a more recent date instead of 1776. That's in my research. That's what I found and discovered.
Yeah, I just wanted you to put that out there in the ethers. I don't pay that shit no attention. I don't pay it no attention anyway.
Yeah, I know you don't.
This shit don't work for niggas. I don't even know why. I guess niggas do what they want to do, man. That shit don't. In my experience, the so-called law don't work for niggas. I don't even know why niggas even pay that shit no attention. I find that niggas is out here on their own, basically, and there's no remedy within these documents. There's really no remedies within these documents because the energy that suggested that you exert trying to apply these documents, you better off just doing what the hell you gonna do.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I know.
They do that, all that wild stuff anyway. They be doing all that shit while we trying to follow the law.
Right, that's wrong. Yeah, I mean, it just be.
Hey, you know what they say? They tell them to obey their heavenly father and their earthly master.
There it is.
That's the law.
Yep, the law of the land. You got to follow the law of the land. Whoever in charge was appointed by God, and that's
exactly. Shout out to Green Gatlin. I see you, Grand Rising. And they're still willing to be controlled by that.
That's right. That's right. And that's
Let
what I'm gonna do.
Let me ask you another question. What about
Hey,
this?
the link is in the chat if anybody want to come up. The link is pinned. Go ahead, Smoke.
Well, something else that seemed funny to me when I heard niggas talk about this admiralty maritime jurisdiction, man. What's the validity to that shit?
Man, that shit is imaginary as hell. Some imaginary lines in the ocean. What are they talking about? You cross this line, you in this country's territory? Oh, or they gonna twist it up and talk about the birth canal? You're born in the birth canal, they cut the umbilical cord. It's too many ways that they philosophically twist all that stuff up when really it's connected to that law stuff. And the real lawgivers.
No, go ahead, finish.
The real lawgivers, when you look up law in the Heritage Dictionary, the real lawgivers were those who were around the burial grounds and the mounds. Those are the real lawgivers. And when I look into that, that means the only real lawgiver and the only real law is death and life itself. Ain't no man pointing shit.
Hey, shout out Noble Atum Bay and Paul Hightower, Grand Rising.
Yeah, they go one of them. They go one of them right there, baby kids. So when you get these so-called stories of this admiralty law and all this stuff like that, and you go look into, well, who's in control and who has power over that right now? Who's doing that right now? It's not us. It's them. We're not the ones doing it. We're not in control of that. We're not stamping the seal. We didn't make the seal that they're stamping on it. We didn't make the fringes to these flags and stuff and these bundles of sticks and arrows and fasci symbolism and all that stuff. We didn't put all that stuff together like that.
Hey, let me ask you something, because you seem to be adamantly opposed to these type of philosophies. Have you gotten your status corrected?
Hell nah. There's no man above me more important that I consider somewhere I can go and get a stamp of approval. When I came out my mama, that was all the sovereignty I needed. Ain't got shit to do with a piece of paper.
Hold on, bro. You telling me you don't got
the Zach Pack? I see you out there, Zach Pack.
Hold on, bro. You telling me you don't have the seal of the state to prove that you are an upstanding man in your correct status, bro?
Hell nah. That shit goofy as hell, man. Hell nah, man. Yeah, bro. That whole I don't agree with status correction, man. I don't. Status corrected by
I never had a concept of how the law operated until I started coming around this community, right? Then I started paying attention to the concepts. And the concepts of law really don't apply to the jurisdictions that niggas find themselves under. You know, the concepts do not apply to those jurisdictions that niggas claim that they under and they got to fight to get from under, right?
Yep. I mean, come on, hey, Smoke, do it make sense? I got to go get my status corrected by who? The people who I'm going to go prove my status to the very people who I say have no authority over me. What the hell is going on here?
Hey, look, I got into it with a dude one day, right? And he was like, I was asking him some questions based on the concepts. And I was like, I forgot how we got there, but then he told me, I asked him a question, then he told me, because your mother is an informant. And I was like, really, bro? You gonna bring my mom into this conversation?
What the fuck? Like that?
Yeah, I think I asked him, like, how did I become a subject to the state if me and the state never reached that agreement? And he was like, because your mother informed on you. And I was like, bro, that's a low blow, because you know damn well I can't go back and ask, look, because you know damn well I can't go back and ask my mama, did she inform on me? That lady gonna look at me and be like, nigga, what the fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that shit, hey, that's not for her. Now you gotta bring my mom into this, bro. Like, no, I can't go for that. If they had to go through them measures to make me a subject, I just gotta throw my hands up like, bro, yeah, y'all got it, bro. Y'all got it. Well, for real.
Yeah, that's the whole birth certificate thing, you know. You got a birth
that straw man
certificate.
shit.
Yeah, your all capitals and your social security card on the back of your social security card, you have these red numbers. And if you look into those red numbers, you can find what state owns your straw man. You can do that. You can find out if that state or legislation through whatever things. I'm kind of slipping on all that. I don't really care to memorize all that stuff like I used to know. But they might even sold your status to Korea or Japan or some shit, you know. So people go get their status corrected, not knowing that those red numbers on the social security card, your ass is still bought and paid for, according to the so-called system. The other one is the commonality and nobility. So those who claim to be nobility, that means that you will have a coat of arm and you will have a seal. So anybody talking about they got their status corrected, well, you just removed yourself from what could connect you to a seal or a coat of arm. And just because you have that name that's connected to a seal or coat of arm doesn't mean that you're genetically, biologically connected to that seal or coat of arm. I know because I got my seals in my coat of arms. So when people talk about they're correcting their status, it don't mean shit. Sovereignty is every being born coming out of a woman. It ain't got nothing to do with a piece of paper. And people put too much faith in this damn piece of paper. These damn colorful designs and all this shit.
In fact, shout out Sister Betty. Much love and respect, Sister Betty, always. Go ahead, brother.
Now, if you want to establish something through LLC and incorporate yourself and do business and all that, I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something to use that stuff, to use it to make something out of it, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. But if you're doing that to go show and prove and put a damn pin to that shit on the wall and be like, look right here, I changed my status. Like, you change your status. Oh, I mean, what does that really mean? You're like your status on Facebook? Like, what status did you change? You no longer single, you're married? Like, what do you mean you changed your status and what does it really bring you? And if it brings some type of anything that's not about finance or power or anything like that, then that is some bullshit. It's not giving you any type of power, anything authority. Because if we're talking about sovereignty or some shit like that, every being born has sovereignty. That has nothing to do with a piece of paper. Or you signed a piece of paper, you gave your right away. The fuck? Stop it, man. What right? What do you mean rights? And who gave this damn so-called rights anyway? And like I asked lawyers, who appointed who to have authority of us to where we got to go to get our status corrected? Who gave them the authority to have something over us? And if they want to go into de rerum natura or natura de rerum, then you're talking about natural law. That ain't got nothing to do with any of that shit. Natural law was on that you go sit in the jungle and your ass get ate up by a bear or some shit. Or, you know what I'm saying? You build something and it's knocked down. You
just reminded me of what I asked. Look, this is the exact question I asked that nigga who told me my mama was an informant. I said, who granted these folks that authority, right? And this the exact question I asked, bro. He said, man, your mother informed on you when you was born. I'm like, God damn. I said that was the exact question I asked, but you reminded me when you said that.
Yeah, I mean, the legal terminology is who ordained the court to have authority over me. I do not recognize any court, no matter which circuit, first or last circuit, to have any authority over me, my body, my person. I don't give a damn about no damn straw man. The hell? No damn scarecrow. The fuck? Yeah, so yeah, there's no people ordained. We're letting this system happen and we're going along with it. If you look into what we had in a small nation of people from 1870 to 1900, we didn't have no damn courts or no shit like that where we were going to get authority or authorize or have somebody over us to call us a commonality and make us subject to some damn king and all this queen type stuff, man. A lot of that stuff was brought here, you know what I'm saying, and forced on us. And the parts that we are attached to are what those brothers done in Texas. I don't know all the details to the beginning of the Republican Party, but I find it very strange that they'll try and push everything back to 1776 when the Republican Party was created by those brothers in Texas in the late 19th century. So other than that Republican Party created by our brothers, and we had nothing to do with the foundation of the damn Democrat Party, and that was them, that was the Slovak and all them putting all that shit together, then they're the ones that need to go get some damn stamp of approval. You know, the Irish, just like how Executive Sessions was talking about how the Irish situation, they're the ones that need to go through that. That shit ain't got nothing to do with us. Now, there are people that are not born in hospitals. They don't have no damn birth certificates. Shit, my father's mother was not born in a hospital. She didn't have a birth certificate or any of that shit. Shit don't apply to everybody. There is so much about that. I know what I feel. That shit is just confusion to keep us chasing our tail by following a bunch of eggplant idiots who are not lawyers, who are not paralegals, who are not judges, who are not commissioners, who are not in any seat of legislation, who do not hold any position in any type of political form or at all, that are talking about this stuff, man. And they, you know, it's a bunch of garbage, man. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with paralegals in the house. You know what I'm saying? My older brother was a paralegal, became a lawyer later. My mother was a paralegal. So I done heard all that shit, man. My balls was dropping. I'm hearing all that type of stuff, man. And how that shit is fabrication to give them power over us. So it's like, let's take our power back and just create our own system, create our own city. If we had our own city, and that brother who made that water machine in Texas, we won't have a problem with some people coming to knock it down. You know, if we can't take the cities back that are originally ours. So what if we build our own city? If I go build my own block, if I take 100 million and put it into a neighborhood and build it up, what the hell is all that shit gonna mean? It's not gonna mean a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody going off grid, don't none of that straw man shit mean a damn thing. What means something is having a roof, having a shelter, having a way to continue to feed and sustain yourself. That's it, man. That's the real law. Like I said, the real lawgivers were by the graveyards and the burial mounds.
Yeah, bro. I'm no further questions right now. Anybody else want to grab the floor?
Yeah, he dropped off.
Oh, he
So
gone.
He'll be back. He might have had a phone call he had to take. But he'll be right back. Shout out to everybody.
I'm glad he came up and
Yeah, he was going in right there.
I'm glad he came over and spoke on that because a lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then when you try to tell them, you know, a lot of people get upset about the truth. You know what I'm saying? Instead of allowing the truth to come in and make herself at home so you can make the necessary correction so you can see to it that you don't make those same mistakes over again. But instead of learning that lesson, we tend to allow our pride and ego to step out in front of us because we don't want anybody to see that we've been played for a fool. But I do say that it's all right. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's the beautiful thing about learning lessons. You learn them or not.
Well, let me ask you a question. Because let me ask you a question because you did a little deep dive into the law. You did a little deep dive into the law, right? Did you find any evidence of this mysterious, irrevocable trust that I be hearing so much about? Damn, somebody at my door. Hold on. Before you answer that, hold on.
All right.
I shout out some in the chat real quick. Shout out to Beast Mode, Emperor Summer Rain, Noble Atune Beck, Duke, Wiesel 618, Zach Pack, Quiet Storm Sean, Cherokee, Emperor's Goddess Summer Rain.
Damn, there was a couple of worse motherfuckers I got to deal with too.
Go ahead, brother.
You know, I'm just saying a couple of worse motherfuckers just knocked on my door I got to deal with.
Got you. Paul Hightower, Oscar. I see y'all. Shout out to everybody in Green Gatlin. Brother Epic Studies, Matthew Craig, Smoke Signals. Shout out to everybody in the house. Go ahead, my brother.
Indeed. Yeah, man. Well, I guess while we're waiting on Smoke to come back to ask his question, let me see, Brother
Master
Lowe's.
Green, shout out. Go ahead, brother.
Are you good, Brother Lowe's? I'm finna put this picture up right quick, and I want to know if give me 1 second. Want to know if you're familiar with this or ever seen this picture of this person before, because I see the one that you have up of the one that they claim is Suleiman, but I have that picture, but I have another one too. I want to know if you're familiar with this one. So I hit it up earlier. Okay. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it, brother.
Okay. Yeah, I want to know if any of you, it's for any of you that's on the panel, are you familiar with that picture? Because, and the reason I'm asking is because it's according to what I have, of course, that's Suleiman that I have up on my screen. That's Suleiman. Because like I said, I do have the one that Lotus has up, but upon further digging, because if you look at this picture, you'll see the De Lawrence company up on it as well. And if you do research on it, do some digging on it, you'll find that the picture right here is what is claimed this person to be Suleiman. And the evidence behind it is this person here in this picture, same birth date, same death date, and same parentage as the Suleiman in question. And like I said, when I was able to also, when I had that other screenshot of that corporation based in Lebanon, it also led me back to the Lawrence company. And matter of fact, when I first took this screenshot, that was that website then. That website has changed now. It's something different now, if I'm not mistaken. And I think if you try to even go on there, the Lawrence company, the actual website, at least when I did it on my iPhone, I tried it on my iPhone, like it was a few weeks back, just to look it up to see if the website had changed. Nothing came up, but the website seems to be operational, but nothing's up on it. And it's like they're trying to, hide that, because I was able to make that connection via, like I said, that the same birth date, parentage, the same parents, the same name. And this guy, he was born Cleveland, Ohio. And where was that that organization you said he founded was in Youngstown? So I was just putting all those
Yep, in Youngstown, Ohio. Was it Ohio?
Yeah,
I think it was Ohio.
And if I'm wrong, you know what I'm saying, loaded somewhere, you know what I'm saying, I'm open to correction, bro. I ain't one of them folks, you know what I'm saying? If I'm wrong about anything, I'm just trying to build with you on it. So if I'm wrong and you see that I'm wrong, don't let me drown, bro. Correct me.
Almost definitely. See, he was working with these groups. He was working with the Khadib Decree, the AIU. They were all working together. He looked like he was part of the Khadib Decree right there. He got on the dress like them.
Yeah, and that's why I said it led me back to that, and this is what it brought me to, because I came across this, and they're saying this is the Suleiman, this is him. So I'm thinking the guy in the picture that you have up, and I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying, I'm open, I could be wrong. I'm thinking the guy that you have up, if that's the brother, maybe it's the brother that took on this guy's name, this guy, as a persona, sort of like what Martin Luther King did, or Michael did.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe that may be the case here with that brother that you, because like I said, I do have that picture too, bro. I have that one too.
Yeah, and he's pushing the same agenda.
Yeah, the same.
See, that could be his handler. That could be their handler, because they had handlers.
Yep. I was just kind of doing some dig. I just wanted to, share that with you and build with you on it, because man, for real, I appreciate you, having the balls to even speak about it publicly like this. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you do have brothers and sisters alike in the movement that if you bring this up, they either act like it's foreign or they don't want to talk about it. And from my perspective, I think the reason behind that is because after you've, built some financial stability off of, Otherwise, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of hard for you to come forward and correct yourself when you've built, you know what I'm saying, so to speak, your platforms and your, you know, organizations or empires, if you will, off of the lies. Even if you did so, you know what I'm saying, you didn't know that, you know, and I say this for the people that do know better but chose to, you know, continue forward. But I can find it, for the most part, I think that's the main reason why most would be uncomfortable to even bring this forward openly. The ones that's in the movement already, have been for quite some time, and do know this information, they don't want to lose. It always goes back to the money, bro. Like you said, just follow the money. It always
That's it.
goes back to the money. Always.
Yeah, I wonder what's his name right there? He looked like a pasha.
Who's that?
The person you showing he's Muhammad, another Abdul.
Yes,
he's probably
Suleiman. Yeah, it's
before
claimed that's Suleiman.
Got it. Because the one I'm showing, Abdul Hamid Suleiman, he was put in jail. He was doing so much snake oil, scandalous stuff, man. He was a kid diddler too. I mean, he was touching the children. He was doing a lot of wicked stuff. And then you'll find,
see,
you know,
that's what
Levi.
And that's what
Levi.
and that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm thinking that's where the truth and fiction become strangely mixed, because they could be talking about, you know, at any given time when presenting the information on Abdul Hamid Suleiman, you may not just know which one they're talking about at that time unless you have the proper timeline and the historical events as well as pictures and whatever like that to match up with it. You see what I mean? But outside of that, it's kind of hard to, you know, pinpoint when you have, you know, all these different personages carrying that same name, because even the brother in the picture that you have up, I think Suleiman is spelled with a Y in the way he spells it for the way he presents himself. But this Suleiman here doesn't have a Y.
I see.
You see what I mean?
Yep.
So when they speak on it, it's kind of like, man, you got to have that extra, you know, those extra reference points, if you will, to match up with the narrative that they putting out there. You see what I'm saying? Because like I said, if you don't know who is who, you could just see the name and assume that it could be either the brother in the picture you got up or the brother I got up here on my, you see what I'm saying? And then either way, without that proper information, you kind of just don't really know. You know what I mean?
Because this guy, he was a plagiarist. You know, he was a linguist. He did know the language to put stuff together, but he plagiarized a lot of people. He plagiarized Levi on the Aquarian Gospel and put together that Canaanite society.
Yeah,
because that's what he was doing. You know, so you know, I'm pretty sure he took some from him too.
Indeed.
Damn snake.
Yeah,
Damn
snake, bro.
Him and Muse, Dose Muhammad, him too. Dose Muhammad Ali.
Him too. Yep.
He was doing some snaky shit.
I got a picture
Khalil Gibran during that time. You know, if you look up Khalil Gibran, he gets all the attributions of being this superior Arabic speaker and all this stuff. And then you'll find that his information and him and Farad Muhammad. And y'all definitely would need to look into this person, because that's what I was finding. What you're showing here is what I was finding. That these pashas, these bays and these groups, like this person right here with that hat like that they were the ones who were putting this stuff together, changing the way stuff is pronounced and all that, and then making sure like the person who I'm showing did it the way that he did it.
Exactly. That's what I was coming to too as well, bro. That's the conclusion I reached with it.
Got the same conclusion. Same conclusion, man.
And that's why, man, like I told you, that's why I kind of, you know, backed away from, you know, the consideration with trying to link up with people, because it's like it's so infiltrated, and it's so it ain't even infiltrated. It's a far from the jump. You see what I'm saying? So
exactly.
It ain't really nothing to infiltrate, if you will. You know what I mean? But I think the idea of, you know, various people within that movement throwing it out there is to try to keep the movement alive so they can keep profiting from it. You know, that's just my opinion. That's my perspective. Because like I said, I've learned a lot from, you know, the genuine people that was in that movement. When I say the genuine people that were in that movement, I mean that past, like they were in the movement. These people are no longer in the movement as well. You see what I mean? Because they done their due diligence and found out the truth based on the research that they've, searched as well. So I'm grateful that, when I was in that for the little, small amount of time I was, that I did come across genuine people. You know what I mean? And I think that's key.
Right.
That's real key to really anything that you really get yourself into, and you're trying to find the truth about this, that, and the third, or whatever. But really, the truth is really found within yourself. But if you must go outside of yourself, it would behoove you to make sure that you're around good people who have, good intentions to lead you in the right direction. Because without it, you'll just continue to run in circles until you do your own due diligence and find out for yourself, which for some can be a long road, a very long road.
That's right. And you notice in the picture of Abdul Hamid, the one I'm showing, he has the same hat that the Elks Lodge, the BPOE, were using in.
The same one, yeah.
Same hat.
Same hat, bro. You own it, bro. I got it. I'm giving you your flowers, bro. Like you own it. You own it, bro. But
it's deep, and I caught hell for expressing that. Exactly what you explained and showed right here. I caught hell for that. Oh, you giving too much credit to the pale face. Oh, they people calling me agent. Oh, you an agent because you exposing that it really came from the pale faces and they put it together and presented it to people. You know what I'm saying? So I caught hell for that. And I'm happy that I did.
And that's crazy. And that's crazy because like I until we come in and out on our YouTube or whatever like that, I've never met you in person, don't know you personally. So I didn't get this information from you. I did my own due diligence and came, you know what I'm saying? So the truth will prevail, bro. Don't let it bother you. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. The truth will prevail. And it'll come from other places as confirmation for you. You know what I mean? So just keep going, bro. Don't let it discourage you. I for damn sure didn't let it discourage me. I just made the appropriate decision and moved forward from there. That's all I did. Simple as that.
That's right. Man, that's dope. I appreciate that.
Man, no problem, bro.
Oh man, my Moorish buddies, they said they was coming to jump on. One of them was in the chat, got Noble in his title, but I understand. I understand.
Yeah, it happens like that sometimes.
It's like we coming.
We happens like that all the time. People be saying they gonna do, you know what I mean? But when you present the information, I think what happened, bro, you destroyed the premise they may have been coming from. That may have been what happened. And they couldn't, come back through. But I could be wrong. But I ain't trying to start no shit, but I'm just saying. That could have been it.
Shout out to J Goddess 33. I see you got Grand Rising. Much respect.
Because I've run into that myself, bro. I'm used to doing my shit, at home and, I'm saying, in person with people. I've held classes. Even years ago when I stayed in another state and all, they remember my wife and everything. She surprised me the other day and she showed me on that old iPhone 6S she got of, them old classes where, I had people over at the house and I got, my projection screen was my big screen TV in the living room. You know what I'm saying? And man, I was going in, bro, teaching the people everywhere I went. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. And so you're going to have, your naysayers, you're going to have people that try to, discourage you from bringing information out, but you come to find out to be the ones that know the same truth. It's just, you had more nuts than they did to come out and say it, actually teach it and tell it. And that'd be the problem, bro. You weren't supposed to tell it. That's the problem. You weren't supposed to tell it. Yeah, I run into that same issue. So that's why I'm telling you, bro, keep pushing, keep going. Don't let it stop you, man.
Most definitely. I definitely will. In the burlesque degree, they got some other orders. I want to make sure I get these out too real quick. You got the Ancient Arabic Order of Nobles of Mystic Shrines, of course, mentioned earlier. You have the Mystic Order of Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm. What the hell is that? And the Tall Cedars of Lebanon. The other ones connected to it are the Odd Fellowship, also known as the Odd Fellows, the Imperial Order of Muscovitz, and the Oriental Order of Humanity and Perfection. The other ones after 1902, second year of the 20th century, Ancient Mystic Order of Samaritans, the Knights of Pythias, and they had their dramatic order, Knights of Khorasan, the Red Man, and the Red Man, their Order of Haymakers, and the Knights of Columbus. Like all these groups, they're all working together. What's the other one? Oh, and the International Order of Alhambra. You can find all this under Ancient Arabic Order of Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, E. Clampus Vitus, Freemasonry, Improved Order of Redmen, Knights of Columbus, Knights of Pythias, and Odd Fellowship. And they're all connected. You know, all of them are connected. Well, man, I got to get back out here and get some DoorDash on. I appreciate everybody. Hopefully they learned something today that they can apply to their life or throw away and get out of their life. You know what I'm saying? And seek guidance through ancestry. You know what I'm saying? Let their ancestors be their guiding light, not a book, not a philosophy or something outside of themselves, like good brother Epic mentioned earlier. Once you go outside of yourselves, that's it, man. It's a wrap. And, you know, it took me years to, you know, really do that. I fought against that, you know, but once I really just let go and just said, you know, okay, I got to go with what I can really prove and what I can really show that I've proven. I can't look in the other direction. Everything's been uphill since that point. I see you, Big Dog Filet. Play some jammy jam.
We'll play a quick song by Dre Cobb Music. We Still Here. Shout out to
Dre Cobb, right?
Mic check, mic check.
Yeah, cut off.
You good? Your music cut off. We heard you, bro.
I don't know what the hell happened. Hold on, let me go back. Dre Cobb, we still here. Shout out to sponsor Rashard. TSL, Black Motherfucker Power, my knock. Much respect, K Pink, Roxanne Hamilton. Appreciate all of y'all.
Who they think they better than? Ain't no comparison to the so-called black or African American. You can drop the African, keep the American. When we say Aborigine and make they world in, I'm going in the same dirt my ancestors buried in. I come from a god and a goddess, so what that make me? Not even Basquiat can trace me. Not even Van Gogh can paint me. The MC in me is the God MC, equals the God in me. I'm focused in, let my mind be free. You too blind to see. The Jews I give Israel, it's been real. These ain't shots, they missiles. All you gonna hear is the whistle. Lyrically, this an execution. My verses start revolutions from my people seeking restitution. Since the beginning, fuck evolution. Or maybe my reality is all a dream. I put it together like I was sowing seeds. So it seems this is that audio dopamine. Go against the regime. We put you where nobody can hear you scream. And sing you to meet your Elohim. My nigga, this is savage mode. It's something that you can't decode. It started with with a spark and I'ma let it explode. I was given the cheat codes that'll let me dump and reload and go through them waves like a fucking torpedo. You dealt the cards of life, I just cut them diamonds with the ace of spades. Y'all scatter like roaches when they facing raid, or vampires when they facing blade. I'm trying to get next to Shireen like I'm getting played. You still stuck as a mental slave. You still stuck in that mental cage. While I'm making easy money, pimping hoes in style. This my coming to age. Crowd roaring when I'm coming on stage, and when I'm done, they gon' be cheering my name. Drake Cobbs, and nah, I ain't quit my day job. I spit bars. I really rap on my day off. That's real shit. Just give you some tools you can build with. Aim high even if you still miss. Just keep going. It's a climb to the top, and I'ma keep flowing. Down Lake Shore, I'm Chicagoan. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to
you niggas is playing checkers, we playing chess. And nigga, this is checkmate. Dre be the big dog and you just a little bait. You out of Africa and we ain't got the same traits. I'm a God being and we ain't got the same fate. My granny died February 18th and I was born on the same date. The chosen one, the ancestors' chosen son. They gave me the golden gun. One shot, that's a hole in one. From the pyramid of the sun to Poverty Point. I don't think you niggas is getting the point. We still here. Who said they made the Aboriginals disappear? Your information's lagging in the rear. All you do is teach fear. We copper colored with woolly hair. Am I speaking clear? So fuck the nonsense. When I rap, I touch your consciousness. From within is where you get your self-confidence. Let's bring it back to dominance. Ain't no confining us. Gonna bring that wild Indian out of us. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We still here.
That's the brother, oh damn, that Mary Jane good. We still here, Dre Cobb music. Let's play one more. Play my brother Chief Holiday, Felony. Then I'm gonna let you close out, brother.
Stop. What the?
Shout out to Chief Holiday.
What they telling me? What they telling me? Yeah. What that fella need? What that heifer need? Can't get caught with these. What are those felonies? Trying to keep the hood straight with they felonies. When I made it back safe, I just fell on knees. Thank the Lord for the hustle that just fell on me. In these streets, I'm trying my hardest not to fell on knees. Keep a popper and some paper for my bell on me.
Oh man, I always do that. Give me a second, y'all.
Is that my OG? I think it is.
Yeah, that's Chief.
Freestyle. What the fuck need?
My OG, yeah.
I inhale the weed. Yeah. And what they telling me? What they telling me? What they telling me? Yeah. What that fella need? What that heifer need? Can't get caught with these. What are those felonies? Trying to keep the hood straight with they felonies. When I made it back safe, I just fell on knees. Thank the Lord for the hustle that just fell on me. In these streets, I'm trying my hardest not to fell on knees. Keep a popper and some paper for my bell on me. If I have to pop, I pray my blick don't fell on me. Ain't gon' tell me when they coming, they gon' bell on me. Every time them hoes get caught, they gon' tell on me. There's a lot of people out here wishing hell on me. Niggas ratting law enforcement got they trail on me. Cause they know that I got something that's for sale on me. Nothing heavy, private stock, and some mellow weed. Yeah, mellow weed. Car, mellow weed. Make you say ooh la la when you inhale a weed. You can tell I keep that Zod cause the smell on me. Probably why these pretty bitches wanna smell on me. I don't sweat up seed, I just let her be. I might call her something that start with the letter B. I just let her see, you'll never be. Just be all that you can be, never me. I can sell a key, I can sell a pea. Make her think it's lemonade, I can sell a pea. Got a big ol' ass shaking like it's Jello seed. Every time they see me with her, I smell jealousy. Built like Meg Thee Stallion, but she got some better knees. Got her gossiping and looking for some better tea. Find you something else to talk about instead of me. I'm just trying to find a plug with some better fees. I'm just trying to hit a plug with some cheddar cheese. Catch me whipping up another, I got recipes. I be whipping up that butter like a yellow tea. Catch me cooking like my mother in a yellow tea. I got stripes like a zebra in a referee. I gave everybody a slice and save the rest for me. I got 40 dead homies, may they rest in peace. I'm still praying for their families, may they rest in peace. I can't give you everything, this is just a piece. There's a big storm brewing, this is just a peak. 10,000 new followers, it's been just a week. She been fucking everything, she's just a freak. I ain't had to say a thing, open sesame. Something strange for some change, get that neck to me. I ain't had to pay a thing, got the neck for free. Pussy fat, fuzzy man like a nectarine. When she giving up that neck, I'ma name her nectarine. In my phone under neck, get that neck a ring. I proposed to the neck, made that neck a queen. I got married to the neck, gave that neck a ring. If that neck disrespect, get that neck a ring. Where you at? Bring that check and that neck to me. Where's destiny? That's my destiny. If I had an eye on my knee, bet my legacy. Legacy, get it, legacy. If I had an eye on my knee, bet my legacy. Legacy, yeah, legacy. Ask them what my real name, they say Lester C. Yeah, Lester C. Yeah, Lester C. Yeah. I done seen more than most Nas, Lester C.
Shout out to Chief Motherfucking Holiday, my naga. Much respect. But go ahead, brother. You can close out and we're gonna shut it down, man. Put one in the books. Another one, another powerful bill, brother. Appreciate everything you do. Go ahead, you got the floor.
Appreciate it. Honorable admiration on my good brothers, sisters of feather. Hopefully, you learned something today that you can apply to your life. Something that will inspire those in the future, that will help build and go in the right direction. In a direction where you are in control of your destiny and no one else is in control of the outcome of what you have planned for you, yours, your grandchildren, to your greatest grandchildren, 70 generations down the line. As I always say, mind manufacture, mass produce everything we want, need, and use. Therefore, we need nobody at all. Thank you for letting me present this information here today. Definitely the input that helps further the information investigation into the situation going on with this person that we see here, Abdul Hamid Suleiman. He's a plagiarist who takes people's names, and we know that's not his birth name, who takes people's writings and apply it to his, like he's the one putting it out there. And now that we can see that's the same thing going on with those who are ignoring this story and ignoring that this paradigm that they've created to usurp everybody's history is really being put together by those who did not have our best interests or benefit for us in this day that we live in the days in the future. So I say peace, love to everybody. Got love for everybody. This ain't personal. This is information. This is stuff that we need to know. So for those who, object or have a disagreement, I definitely openly and with open hands accept your objection. You know what I'm saying? This is for our people, for the people, and the people that are to come, to make sure they do not go down the wrong path. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your night. Try and hit up executive sessions to get some of that good 420 green that he was showing earlier. You know what I'm saying? If you like to fill up your backwoods and your swishes or that which you smoke out of. And stay
shout out
tuned.
to sponsor.
That's right. And stay tuned, y'all. Like, subscribe, and share. And always come check out what Big Dog Philly OG has going on. The platform that lets everybody come on, promotes everybody to come here, to let everyone know that your channel and to subscribe to your channel and share. I love that. Most aren't doing that. That's powerful. Proud to be a part of something on this powerful channel. Peace.
Appreciate you, brother. Like I said, I can't wait to the next one. Let me shout out a couple people that just came in. Pretty as Eyes, P. Moses, Ghetto Child Inc., Anthony Lowe, Quiet Storm Sean, Today You Can Dig It, Jules, DJ Zip, Yazel, the brother Bobby Knight, much respect, brother. Shout out everybody. We're gonna play one more song by Chief Collie, Anti-Everything, and we're gonna close this one out. Another great one, my brother. Much respect to the brother Lotus, the brother Epic Studies. I'm gonna shout as many people out as I can, man. Grand Rising. Much love to everybody. Here we go. Chief Collie, Anti-Everything. All right, bam.
Message sent yesterday at 5:27 p.m.
I'm tired of how black men being killed. They done put some respect on our damn name. The brother in Minneapolis the right way. Where is he right now? I don't want to handle things the right way. You are not going to talk.
Emperor Summer Rain. Quiet Storm Sean. Why
I see the strangest things, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me. Why? Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens.
Man, I'm anti-dirty cops, anti-bullshit, I'm anti-scamming ass preachers in the pulpit. I'm anti-no truth, anti-full of lies, I'm anti-scared to try, I'm anti-scared to die, I'm anti-poverty, anti-stay the same, I'm anti-hard lives, anti-scared to change, I'm anti-pity parties, anti-excuse makers, anti-lazy niggas, anti-truth haters, anti-praying march, I'm anti-quiet nigga, Malcolm over Martin, I ain't anti-violent nigga, anti-fake woke, anti-unaware, I'm anti-Jesus Christ, I'm anti-church and prayer, I'm anti-false hopes, anti-Holy Ghost, I'm anti-fairy tales, brainwashing grown folks, I'm anti-Jesus letting killers in the church house, and God ain't doing shit, but watching as we get murked out, I'm anti-niggas too blind to open their eyes and see, I'm anti-loving my enemies and apologies, I'm anti-gangbang music, helping kill the youth and drug overdose music targeted to me and you, I'm anti-black cops, signing while they killing us, black judges hugging the killer, but they ain't helping us. I'm anti-scared to fight, anti-scared to lead. Malcolm said won't be no revolution, cause y'all scared to bleed. I'm anti-no proof, anti-no evidence, anti-niggas not asking questions, just believing shit. I'm anti-begging to the sky when situations hard. I trust and I believe in me. I'm anti-belief in God. I'm anti-evil on this earth, hating racism, anti-hate for whites. I'm anti-niggas, nigga, anti-genocide, self-hate and suffering. If it don't help to better us, I'm anti-everything.
The evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me. Why? Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. I see the strangest things, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me. Why? Cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens.
Man, I'm anti-roots, nigga, anti-fake truth. I'm anti-believing them slavery stories taught in school. I'm anti that we all from Africa don't apply to me. I'm anti-Kanye rocking our people back to sleep. I'm anti-granny killers, grandcestors had the truth. I'm anti-monkey shit. I'm anti-Lucy too. I'm anti-letting these white folks tell me just who I am. My granny came from right here, nigga, she was an Indian. I'm anti-getting scammed, anti-getting played. I'm pro-genealogy. I'm anti-DNA. I'm anti-refusing to check in the shit that we was gave. I'm anti-believing the white man and not what granny say. Niggas ain't like it when Walker came dropping facts in. He said he wasn't black.
anti-religious shit. I'm anti-cool with niggas cognitive dissonance. I'm anti-lacking knowledge, put us at a disadvantage. Anti-social with niggas fighting for a chicken sandwich. Anti-Flint water, anti-sucker shit. And fuck you to them blacks that's selling out for the government. I'm anti-no planning, anti-folk scamming, anti-no will. I'm anti-low standards, anti-no drive, anti-low lines, anti-low esteem. I'm anti-no pride, anti-wanting to quit. I'm anti-giving up. I'm anti-niggas not helping to lift our people up. I'm anti-hating niggas, anti-lame niggas, anti-6ix9ine. I'm anti-snake niggas, anti-low vibe. Live life, fly high. Some days it's gonna be full of rain, the other days the sun will shine.
See the strangest things, the evil that money brings. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. And they wanna bury me, cause I'm anti-everything. I swear it's like a disease that goes round and round and round like sirens. I see the strangest things, the evil that money brings.
That a man was shot and killed inside the chapel at this World Changers Church International. A man, a worker at the church, leading a prayer, opening the prayer service today. And as the longtime member who talked to Karen indicated, there were a lot of people who go to that prayer service on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10. Different people lead the service. But as he was leading the prayer at the start of the service, a man walked up to him and shot and killed him. Shot him at point blank range.
Stop that screen share. Like I said, much respect to the brother Lotus. Did you want to close out one more time, bro?
That's right.
You know, like I said, I appreciate everything you do, getting the information out to the people. Excellent work always. You know, I want to talk about the bill that I got tomorrow with the enemy's public and my brother Key Norfolk. Divorcing the system. We talking about the medical system. Doctor kill patient versus healing versus kill medicine versus drugs. We talking about divorcing the system tomorrow and basically talking about the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry. So much respect, brother. I appreciate everything you did. Fire presentation. You know, I'm looking forward to next week, man. Like I said, much respect to you and the family. I appreciate everything you do. You know what I mean? Don Treese, much love and got respect, sister. You know, so, you know, I'm gonna let you close out with your last words, man. Nobody told y'all they love y'all. OG and his family love y'all, man. I got nothing but respect for you. Go ahead, brother.
That's right, man. Looking forward to that bill too. What time will that bill be? Tomorrow?
8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Shout out my brother JJ. Appreciate you, brother. Much love to you and the family. All of y'all, man. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Me and the enemy's public in Keaton Awful.
Perfect. Yeah, I do not want to miss it. I missed so many different things. I missed your bill with Bro Sanchez too. I'm gonna have to watch that, catch up. Man, I do not want to miss. I don't miss anything. Now I see that, you know, doing them at 5. That's perfect. I'll definitely catch it. I'm doing that.
Like I said, I appreciate
next
all
week.
Go ahead, bro.
Next week, man, it's like where do we go from here?
Exactly.
So next week, I'm gonna start sharing, you know, one of my talents, my linguistic skills, and we're gonna find that these words, you know, where these words and where do words really come from, and who's really putting it together, who put this spell on us. And I'm gonna have some stuff attached to that. It's gonna be a surprise. It's gonna be you know, some very interesting stuff. And I'm definitely gonna have to connect it into the hieroglyphs. There's a lot of stuff I've been leaving out, and why hieroglyphs are representations of geographical locations. And I don't really talk about that in depth. So I would definitely go into that and show and prove, same thing with the situation today, that we find the same thing happening across the board. So yeah, man, in for a treat. In for a treat. Well, boy. So all right, my Moorish brothers. Y'all, you know, hey.
Shout
I
out
didn't
Q
say it.
Hussein. I see you out there, Q. Go ahead, brother. Much respect.
I didn't say it. The Murakush Society said it. And I definitely appreciate Epic Studies to bring forth that information to show and prove that this man was a complete fraud and a plagiarist all across the board. You know, that being said, man, peace. All my brothers, sisters of the feather, enjoy yourselves. Have a great one. Light one for your book.
That's what I'm doing right now. Much respect, my brother. Safe travel through the night. Much respect to everybody, man. And I see you in these YouTube streets. Much respect. We out.